Our band of adventurers, the Telaria, have recently arrived at the city of Embar, in time before the start of Foundation Day, the celebration of the founding of the Zamaha Republic. Arriving a few days earlier, in fact, with enough time to do various activities among the city. For Aki, that involved dealing with a little bit of family business. Kindling spent his time on research. Marine decided to spend his time working in the docks and taking up a small sketching hobby in regards to the several vessels that were docked in Embar. And Havelock decided to tie up a loose end with the bounty hunter Mallory, finding the not quite hideouts, but location where a lot of the skull slivers seem to relax in, with Mevelair tagging along alongside Aki. As such, you were able to, over the course of the 3 of the 4 days leading up to Foundation Day, were able to finish pretty much everything that you were hoping for, with the final one being to visit the Master of Olivia, a gentleman by the name of Ferrant. And so, on the day before Foundation Day, you all woke up, prepared yourself for your journey into the Cirrus District, and began to make your way there. And that is where we left off. So, what is it that you wish to do, Telaria?
Well, we already had breakfast and everything, so I think we're properly heading out.
Yeah.
We could scream into the void, see if it screams back.
Listen, I think you do enough of that for us.
The thing is that we have like 2 warlocky people in the party, so like we already know what's in the void.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we were about to make our way actually to the Cirrus District.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So no detours, you're just heading straight to the Cirrus District. Okay.
Yeah.
If that's the case, so whereabouts are you looking in the Cirrus District? Because it's quite large, and this also is me being like, let's see how good your notes were.
Let me look at my notes.
Me too.
Because
I probably said something like fucking cock tower and expected me to figure it out.
yeah, but while you're looking for your notes, I'll describe as you enter the Cirrus District. It's just a little bit off the keelway, overlooking the main square, which is, at this point, has been decorated with several stalls, some of them empty, some of them being, like stocked up with things. You can see that a few of the, what were originally covered up by tarps has been pulled away, showing several statues of individuals, which none of you really recognize. And sort of, you can see a little bit further away the consul's like main building, the consul's palace, with a large stone platform that is currently in the process of being decorated. Heading into the Cirrus District fully, it is a lot of extravagant marble buildings, paved roads, no electricity, but they got the fancy lampposts. It's like just around like pre-industrial sort of like lampposts kind of deal. You can see several large buildings alongside the like the consul's palace. You can see a few signposts like pointing to the various districts or various areas within the district. For one, you've got like the Academy of the Arcane. Another one, you've got the like pointing you to what's it called? Because I've got to go through my long list of notes here. Like the helm of the house. Notable individuals, it seems, have signs like pointing them in their direction. It's very fancy.
No, I've never actually been in here before.
Yeah, you think so, kid?
Well, I used to wander around the cities a lot, but Mama told me to like not come here, cause there are a bunch of tattletales.
Ah, it's Aki's territory. Makes sense, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been here before. I don't think anywhere I've been has been quite on this level of extravagance, honestly.
Mev looks at Aki like fucking doubt. Big doubt. Do you remember where Olivia said to go? Because apparently I did not write it down in my notes. All I said was go to Archmage.
In my notes, I just basically I have a little bit more, but probably not enough. I just have he's found in the Cirrus district. Mev knows it's an especially fancy bit of town where the elites live and where the Premier Palace is. He's focused on the Academy of the Arcane more than rubbing shoulders. There we go.
So
He's
it'd be the Academy of the Arcane.
God, I'm clever. Okay, at the end, I think Aki just goes, I seem to remember Olivia's teacher being involved in some school of some kind. The Arcane Academy, I think it was called.
Well, I guess that makes sense for an Archmage that teaches people. Mev looks around for like a sign in that direction.
There's signpost that's pointing towards the Academy of the Arcane.
Yeah. Alright, come on, follow me. I completely, 1000% know where I am going.
Okay.
How does one go over 100%?
It's an organic material thing.
Yeah, well, with confidence, I suppose, if you know.
Adrenaline.
Bullshit!
Yeah.
And
Usually
liquid
that's not
courage.
I believe alcohol just impairs your ability to move.
Not
Liquid
exactly
courage.
true.
Alright. So, you follow the various signposts deeper into the Cirrus district. It's actually around the center point, nearing another much smaller town square, which appears to have its own sort of... This one's more decorative, but there are a few stalls here and there for Foundation Day. When you see what you can only assume to be the Academy, being its largest building in your immediate area. It's roughly about 5 stories tall, mostly made of marble, like a lot of things. It's sort of difficult to see, but it seems to be shaped almost like a hexagon almost. Surprisingly, no glass windows, just storm shutters. And Aki, with your perception, your passive perception, you can actually see the occasional person in the window that's sort of like looking outwards. Some of them looking bored out of their mind. Others that are sort of like writing something, which you can't see because of the angle and the distance.
So are there windows? Sorry, I think you said there's no windows.
There's no like glass panes in the window, but there's where a window would be, but there's storm shutters instead.
Oh, okay.
So there's windows, but there's no glass in the windows, so to speak. If that makes sense.
It does, I suppose. Yeah. I know what you mean. So
Yeah.
They have like the wooden shutters over it. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Like you got the window frame, storm shutters, but no actual glass in the windows. But yeah, like you see several individuals. I know there's a proper name for those kind of windows, but I can't for the life of me remember.
They're not French windows. I can't remember what they're called.
I don't know. Either way. Yeah, you can see several individuals. Some of them appear to be like writing something, but again, distance and angle, you've got no clue because you're still a fair distance away. It's just you've got a really fucking high passive perception. Others you can see are sort of like looking outward to the horizon. Most of them looking bored out of their minds, like you do in school. And on each of the points of the hexagon, you can see that there's a tower that rises up with another much larger one in the middle.
Well, I suppose there's not. You can't exactly miss the place, can you?
No, not unless you're super blind. And Mev kind of like waves a hand in front of her face.
Like Toph from Avatar.
Yeah.
It's there! It's what we'd say if we'd see it.
Now, see, goddammit, now this is what I'm second guessing. Like, did Mev ever bring up the fact she was blind?
She's been really good at fighting, don't worry.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, like, yeah, anyway.
Oh my goodness. You gonna ask that question?
Because I don't fucking know. I've got a mind like a sieve.
Listen, Havelock's been the familiar this entire time. Mev's just using him to see.
Fuck it. Mev actually gestures to Havelock. See? Like him. He can't look at his eye patch. He can't even see out the one eye.
So basically, so as long as everything he has to see is on the left side of him, he's fine, yes?
I mean, yes, but that has its disadvantages, Aki. Be sympathetic.
I can't believe it. We know you're a rich bastard, but come on. You can't be ableist too.
How was I being ableist? And anyway, I know for... I'm fairly certain you're not actually blind in that eye.
Yeah, are you sure about that? How do you know?
Be careful, Aki. You know what they say about assumptions.
Yes, I tend to... That tends to be a pitfall I'm rather enamored with. Anyway, should we, see if
Yeah,
we can at least
Aki,
make...
what does ableist mean?
I'm sorry, what?
Kindling asks, so Aki, what's ableist mean?
Oh, fuck. I just realized I'm not even logged into Roll20, hold on.
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah, Ed.
Ed. Bad Ed.
One job,
Okay.
team leader, one job.
Who is the real blind one now?
Nova.
Yes, fair.
Okay, only I get that joke.
I guess Aki just goes like, well, it's, disregarding or demeaning someone's character and, abilities just for this simple fact they're missing a limb or have a club foot or missing an eye, so it's something we try to avoid in the business, honestly. It's just yes, I do know what it means, thank you.
Aki, you actually hear in your head, don't worry, we're kidding, by the way.
And Aki will sort of think in his own mind, gosh, you really must have to warn me next time.
But if I warn you, I can't get your honest reaction.
Well, yes, but for my own sanity, I try to avoid being in a state of constant embarrassment.
Okay, I will, let you in on the joke next time.
Well, I suppose you can give me a waiting period if it's clear that I'm somewhat missing some subtext, you can clue me in.
You see, like, a nod of Mev's head, her hair bouncing with her. And she's going to go ahead and head inside.
Okay. The first thing you notice as you enter is the main foyer area is spotless. The marble floors are incredibly clean to the point where you can actually see a reflection. The marble columns that have stone golems, sort of stone golem statues, flanking on either side, don't appear to have a trace of dust on them. And you sort of look around, you kind of notice brooms that are sort of slowly sweeping. Some of them seemingly by themselves. Others you can see sort of spectral entities. And others you see similar golems to the statues, sort of sweeping alongside as well. You can see an assortment of people in various robes, sort of walking around, conversing. And at the far end, you can see a series of desks with individuals sort of conversing with what look to be more of these robed individuals or people dressed in more common clothes.
Mev's looking around at the shiny marble and the magical beings cleaning up. She's so fascinated by it. She's just like, wow, this place is so shiny. She puts a hand on a wall and admires her reflection for a second. Isn't this cool? Mev, easily impressed.
It's a little bit overwhelming, oddly. It's I feel like I can't even get away with touching anything.
Do you think are those actual creatures? And she gestures to the moving brooms, or does it just happen automatically?
What do you mean, sort of they're sentient brooms, or sort of just
Yes.
more animated by some sort of magics?
Yes.
I mean, you could always go up and ask it.
Broom?
Well, if it's sentient, it must be able to speak and if it's being instructed to sweep this entire grand foyer, surely it must be able to take directions and know exactly what areas need focusing on.
Wonder what it's.
What was that?
Kindling asking, wonder what its name is.
Oh.
Yeah, Mev looks at Kindling. Name? You mean the name that Tablock gave your thing? Thing's name again? Fucking Jeff or something?
Oh yeah. He was Jeff again.
The
His
The
fucking
staff.
yeah, his staff.
That's it. We named his staff. That's it.
Mev looks back at Havelock with the same disdain that she had when he first did that to Kidling. Yeah, Havelock, you can talk to objects. Why don't you go ask what its name is?
I mean, it's got to be wooden objects, you know.
They're brooms.
Okay. Which broom do you
I-
want?
Mev goes and points to the nearest one.
Okay. All right. I can do this. I guess I'm gonna go and talk to a broom.
The handle is wood. Maybe it's that part of it. No, I guess it kind of makes sense. Speak with plants. What is plant? Though you think
Hold
it
on,
was dead.
do I have speak with plants?
Okay. So,
obviously, have to be living plants.
it has to be living.
Is magic animation not a form of life?
Depends on how it's done. Anyway,
There is actually a spell for speaking to an inanimate object, you guys. Havelock's just bullshitting everything.
Oh,
yeah. So,
Yeah, you do.
you approach the broom, or specifically, you try to approach the broom, but as you get close, it begins like quickly moving away from you, like keeping a distance.
it run.
I'm gonna chase it.
Run.
Okay. It has a static speed, so you running towards it means that you do so like get right next to it.
I'm gonna grab it.
Okay. There's
Chokehold it.
so you sort of like grab it, there's like you feel sort of like a bit of resistance as it keeps trying to sweep, and then a second later it just stops.
Listen here, you little shit. I'm trying to figure out a fucking name for you so I can impress those people over there. Now, are you gonna participate or no?
The broom does not respond.
He's like, it is a broom.
I look back to the others, look back to the broom, just kind of nod, tap my foot. Okay. How do you spell that? Okay. Alright, I got it. Thank you, broom. I just let it go back to its work.
The broom falls down.
Okay, I'm gonna pick it up, I'm gonna put it against a wall.
As you sort of like begin to reach to pick it up, it sort of like slowly rights itself and starts moving away from you. And then once it gets to essentially about 10 feet away from you, it starts sweeping again.
Oh man.
That works. Okay. Here we go.
Mev is holding back laughter.
Alright, we have a name.
And what is it?
It is Triswins. Triswens. There's your name.
Alright, time to look into my bullshit meter. Are you gonna try and deceive me, Havelock, even though I already kind of know what's up?
You don't know my bullshit. It's not a name like Jeff.
Alright, fine. Then roll deception.
Ooh.
Aww.
Can I sweep for bullshit as well?
The boss has arrived.
Listen, Aki, stay out of this shit.
Just like, can I sweep for bullshit? Dark Souls boss battle music starts playing. Bar shows below. Aki, the all-seeing.
Write that down, Anna.
Yep, I'm typing.
For Mev, that's such a particular name, like such a weird name, that she actually looks surprised for a second. Like, she doesn't think that Havelock could have come up with that by himself.
With fantasy, Jeffrey's kind of a weird name.
But yeah, it's such a particular name that she's like, huh, okay.
I told you I could talk to the fucking wooden things.
Hold on. I need to just. I'm gonna roll a d20 to see how badly. To see if Aki does buy it, actually. Hold on. Okay. This isn't a full on. What's it called? Insight roll. I'm just checking something. Okay. Yeah, Aki just goes, Can't say I've ever heard of a name like that before. Is it a common one among broom kind?
I didn't ask. I don't usually ask brooms their names. I usually ask weapons. give them respect when they're on the battlefield.
Well, they're both wooden handheld instruments. Wouldn't a weapon and a broom be like cousins?
I can't believe you just fucking said that. Oh my god. Not all wooden things are related, Aki.
I mean, Havelock does kind of have a point. It's like saying all half-orcs are related.
I suppose, but they would have some sort of a shared cultural heritage and a shared basis in language and naming convention.
Maybe a language, but like they're in completely different environments. Weapons are always fighting, and brooms are always cleaning. And I'm sure that brooms are in houses, weapons are always out and about, associating with people constantly.
Well, I suppose brooms are also weapons, but in the fight against filth and grime, aren't they?
No. Unless someone is beating you with a broom, Aki.
I think he needs a demonstration.
What, being beaten with a broom?
Yes.
No, Havelock. I do not think that Aki needs a demonstration of that.
Didn't say we were gonna beat him with a broom.
Well, who else would we beat with a broom?
Also, given how expediently that broom tried to run away from you earlier, I wish you the best of luck with trying to acquire that particular implement.
Okay. I think we're getting a little distracted with the broom talk. We need to go find the Archmage.
Quite possibly, yes.
Although I guess we should probably buy a broom to bring on the road.
Why would we need a broom on the road? What are
Improvised
we going to
weapons.
do? Sweep the dirt?
We can sweep the bad feelings away.
I have no bad feelings. And Mev is going to go walk up to whoever looks like official.
So all the people on the other side of the desk looks official. You imagine they're receptionists essentially. The one that you approach is a half-elf female. Sort of hair's cut short just below the ears. Wearing what looks to be just general looking white robes. You kind of sort of realize as you approach that she's sort of been watching you all with your weird broom stuff.
Yeah.
And she has a little bit of a bemused smile on her face.
Hello.
I feel like
Hello.
it's like Neanderthals came to the future, and it's just like you spotted them on a bus stop marveling at the wheels.
Hello there, welcome to the Academy of the Arcane. Are you students or are you here for other business?
Other business. We are the Telaria, and we are here to see the Archmage. We were sent here by Archmage Olivia. As an arch.
You don't happen to have a name, do you? I mean, I know of Olivia, but I mean, of the particular individual. We have several archmages in this school.
I guess
child.
I would have. Pardon?
Ed.
I probably would have walked with her over there. I can find in my notes where I had all of that guff.
I may or may not have literally mentioned it in the recap.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, I believe this one in question was Archmage Ferrant.
Ferrant is not an archmage, but I will. You said that it was a letter from Olivia, yes?
Yes, Olivia Volshan, I believe.
Give me a minute, I shall see if he's available. She's all like,
He's not an archmage. What is he then? Mev's not talking to her. She turns to Aki like, huh?
Yeah. So you watch as Harfell like she just goes through a door in the back.
He's either, which means he's either done something very brilliant or something quite incompetent.
Maybe I was just under the impression that, an Archmage teaches an Archmage to be an Archmage?
I'm not sure it works like that. I always was taught that an Archmage was just the most senior magic user of a certain area, like how Olivia is the main magic using expert for Lonart, so she's the Archmage of the place.
Maybe. I'm not very familiar with, the magic stuff and, like, the hierarchy of it. I mean, I barely understand how the Republic works.
Yeah, well, I'm not one for things quite as rigid either. Well, apart from the company, but well, I don't know. When learning my druid things, they don't exactly quite have a incredibly strict way of doing that. It's more of a council of elders more than one senior person who's the most magic of all the magic people.
I believe that's how the Archmages work, right? Because, like, that the big scary guy was like, we're going to tell the council, Olivia. And Olivia was like, don't tell the council. I'm trying to do my experiments. We're going to tell them anyways.
My word, it's like I'm back there.
Right? I'm a very good actress. And Mev, like, flips her hair back.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm guessing in that hair flick, do you accidentally hit Aki with your hair?
I don't think so, considering that Mev is distinctly shorter than Aki.
Okay.
As you're finishing off this conversation, you hear from behind the desk. Excuse me, did you, are you individuals say that you, know of, Olivia? And as you, like, turn, you can see, what looks to be an elf, alongside the half-elf next to him. Looks to be in the equivalent of his 50s. You can see his black hair is spattered with several bits of grey. Most notably, he has a large burn mark sort of going around the right side of his neck. He's wearing sort of a dark blue robe with sort of like a yellow trim. You're not too sure if it's like, like gold or just a general yellow fabric. And he has like misty grey eyes, and he's sort of like looking at you all with a sort of an air of eagerness.
We were sent by Olivia.
Indeed.
You are right, it seems. Looks towards the cloak. You are right, it seems. For once, I was Olivia's teacher. Come, follow me. Let us walk and talk.
Okay.
Gladly. And he'll follow him.
Yeah, Mev turns to gesture for the rest of the group to follow along.
And, yeah. Aki, and then, so, as I walk in, Aki goes, Chris Caventori, pleasure to meet you, good sir.
Thank you, and you're part of this Telaria, yes?
Indeed. Yes, I suppose, we haven't quite worked out the hierarchies, but yes, we are, we're all part of the company of the Telaria. We've been helping out, Olivia back in Lanarch, trying to, find our own way and keep ourselves useful and help the great and the good, and, well, our path has brought us to helping your former pupil.
Excellent, most excellent. This way. So, like, points towards just a random solid bit of wall. As he just walks through, they sort of separate, leading to a passageway. Come on, quickly now.
Okay. Mev will go ahead and hurry along, follow him.
Yeah. Aki is sort of, sort of, I don't know if it's more or less subtle than Mev does, but like he's also sort of marveling at magic arcane skills on display, basically, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this pathway sort of like starts going up several steps. You can hear like voices from through the wall. Various amounts of teaching, from what you can gather in the brief period that you're sort of near them. Until eventually, like the wall opens up and you find yourself in a rather lush sort of like office. There's several large like padded chairs and such. An assortment of bookcases and books. Surprisingly, compared to the rest of the like arcane stuff you've seen, it doesn't really look like a place of like magic or anything. It just kind of looks like a very fancy office. And Ferran sort of twists his fingers a little bit, and you watch several of the chairs sort of like almost like, you know how when you used to play with chairs and you sort of like try to make them walk?
Yeah.
Nice.
They do that, and sort of make it a half circle around the desk as Ferran like goes behind the desk and sits down.
Wow.
Yes, please sit. I'm sure you've been waiting a while.
Yeah, Mev takes a seat right in the middle because I think that would look best aesthetically.
Yeah.
All these fucking
yeah.
tall people.
Yeah, Aki just sort of carefully and sort of like watching his chair as he sits down, in case
I
it
take
moves.
my
or
rightful
anything.
place next to Mev.
Yeah, he sits down.
Oh, don't worry, they don't bite. No mouths, after all. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I am Ferrant May. I am the headmaster at the Academy of the Arcane.
Oh, that's what you are. Okay.
Yes, the many years of teaching has paid dividends and allowed me to a rather, shall we say, well-respected position. But enough of that. You have news about Olivia, yes?
Yes. We have a letter from her. And Mev will take out the letter and pass it over to him.
He not violently, but very quickly, excitedly, takes the letter and just quickly breaks the seal and starts reading it. You see his face goes through several emotions, most of it just genuine joy, but you see it, the brow furrows a few times. He sort of nods. Sometimes the smile drops a bit, only to come back again. It's interesting. So that is a big ask of what she's doing. My goodness. And I see. So he sort of appears to have calmed down a little bit, and he just places it to the letter to the side. Rather interesting, and she did speak very highly of you all.
Good, I would hope so. I mean, we tried very hard for her, considering the situation.
So she says, hunting down essentially a murderer and someone who technically bested her. Impressive, very impressive.
Yes, I suppose someone dabbling in the arcane and someone paid the price. I trust Olivia has filled you on the full events that occurred on Lanarch not too long ago.
For the most part, after all, paper is something that we value quite highly, and you can only say so much in words on parchment. But I got the gist of it. Essentially, somebody who is researching something akin to her own. Sorry. Akin to her own. Had decided to essentially put her in a bad position.
Indeed, yes.
We're not quite sure why this person did that, though. I mean, maybe it was just easier for Olivia to take the fall.
Potentially. I mean, when you have somebody who is well known in a position of power, trying to smear them of anything ill could be beneficial, or it just makes you an easy target. Were you aware of any other bit of information in your studies? What Olivia tells me here mostly revolves around what you have told her and what she herself has looked into.
Well, I'm trying to think. What any important information to do with this case that?
Well, did Olivia
Olivia.
tell you what she's studying?
Yes, she is attempting to use what scraps of sanguimancy we have. She's told me that she made you aware of her job or her duty, to find a way to kill easily the lung's bane. As I say, rather big ask what she's doing.
Indeed.
See.
Indeed.
So, Alaria made this alchemist make a big giant, like, blood ooze thing. At least that's what they think it was. It was like this really jelly-like thing with a bunch of flesh and eyes in it, and it hurt. Oh,
It was a truly nightmarish, wretched sight to behold. Essentially imagine a puddle of blood coming alive and trying to drown you in itself. Unspeakable, it really is. But it seemed to have, Olivia had some contracted another, an alchemist to do some research for her, and it resulted in his untimely demise and the creation of that abomination.
I see. That is not something that she had... Well, she had mentioned that you had been assaulted by something, but didn't go into detail about it. Interesting.
Yes, and the poor fellow who had been put in charge in this situation, you see, it seemed as if the whatever it was, it almost seemed to have burst out from within him.
Yeah, it looked like he was kind of ripped apart.
As if his own blood had gained sentience and an everlasting hunger.
I see. That'd be an interesting train of thought to look into. If not just to see exactly what that involved, or potentially to find the real answer there, because I feel if you had arrived after the alchemist had made his demise, there could be a multitude of reasons as to why they might have perished. Just that might have been one of them. That'd be interesting to look into, but I'll leave that to Olivia's discretion.
Indeed.
I can also see here mentioning several extracts from this rogue mage's spellbook.
There was some weird stuff. Do we still have Brandon's book, or did we give that to the guard? I think we gave all of the information to the guard.
I think we gave all the evidence to the guard. Yeah.
Not by choice. They wouldn't let us keep anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you do. I mean, you do remember the particular things. I think they're in campaign notes actually. Like on the particular mentions. Was it?
Yeah. I remember it was sort of like. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, within the pages there's a few formulas. Actually, no. This is Brandon's journal.
You didn't write notes for.
I did, but I think I did anyway. Let me check.
If not, it's fine. I've still got it from Alara's notes.
Yeah. Hold on. When did we go?
Around session 15.
Was it before? What? Oh, here we go. It was just before. Mev got a case of the Big Sad.
While he's
Are
doing
you talking about Mev has no bad feelings? She told you that.
I hate myself. Do you know what? Do you know what I have in my notes for this bit?
What?
So I have. I wrote Hold on. Yeah, we get to the surface. Yeah, we show Olivia the unconscious body of Alara and search her, find take off 70 gold, and a notebook written in both Common and Elvish. It's a mixture of a spell book and personal journal with more important details written in Elvish. And then next I wrote, ask Tom for details on Alara's notebook because shit is dense.
Oh my god!
There you go.
I'm an idiot, sorry.
I mean, I think that's fair. It was a lot.
It is a lot. But there we go. It's in campaign notes too.
I tend to write really detailed notes anyway, so like just that, yeah. Even that was a bit much.
Bunch of misspellings because it's literally copy and pasted from my session notes, but it's what it puts it through.
Yeah. Let me read it through again, sorry. Only essence shows best results, however suitable vessel must be found.
Blood seemed to be a really big thing. She specifically mentioned dragon's blood.
Well, dragon's blood is very potent in magical energies, alongside other things. Several creatures have magical properties, and with the correct workings, you can make use of them in various concoctions. Hells, even for us and those that aren't even arcane users, blood still has a magical property to it that can be used. Why do you think that with demon summonings, the use of human blood is used as part of that summoning?
Mev actually seems to be thinking about this for a second. Maybe to tether them?
In a matter of speaking, it somewhat lures them, but it also seals them. Oftentimes the blood is used as a protective circle, and that's exactly what I mean. You see, magic is prominent in every part of our world. Because of Chaos, because of Shroud sacrifice. There's many things that have caused magic to bloom. After all, Karmora was made by the gods and their magic. It's about discovering and using those magical properties, which is how we've been able to learn what we have.
Well, I'm honestly not too familiar with magic stuff in the first place. The most I remember from Olivia's thing is that she kept talking about blood and linking it to a vessel. I mean, my assumption is that the vessel was Brandon, but...
Mine as well.
Linking the blood to a vessel. Well, there could be any number of things. They could be simply referring to the physical object. They could be thinking of something that would hold it. They could be referring to the target. There's many. When you think of vessels, it's a rather broad area, so to speak.
Of course.
But that's the thing with the arcane. It's never simple. It's always complicated. It's just if you decide to delve into it like I did, or decide that actually it's better to go with what you know, like you probably do, Little Miss, indicating to you, Mev.
Think.
Ah, it is good to hear from Olivia, though, and I'm happy to see that she's doing well. And I also must thank you all. I know that you had made quite the journey to, well, to hear from Lonarch.
Well, thank you. Luckily, we didn't. Thankfully, we didn't come across bandits or an animal attack or anything like that. It was relatively peaceful, but it did have its own difficulties, I suppose.
I would imagine travel is difficult.
Well, and besides, we had to make it quick so we didn't end up missing the festival, you know?
Oh yes, of course. The festival begins tomorrow. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Will the academy make an appearance at it, or are they involved in some way?
Not quite. I tend to avoid the festivities. I've seen far too many of them at this point that it sort of has lost its appeal. I'm sure many of the teachers and students will probably be attending, but any particular major roles would be dealt with by the Premier's own arcane division. Odds are their Archmage. I will probably just spend time reminiscing, and maybe following these few trails that have now came my way.
My mind's just been jogged. I remember one of her comments. She mentioned reporting to a Master Jaria. You don't happen to know that name, do you?
Jiraiya. That's a name I've heard before, though there's no guarantee it's the same individual.
Well, who's the Jiraiya you know?
He was a member of the Iron Accord, which is an organization of the Republic's most elite mages. Not necessarily archmages, just ones with notable skills and reputation. Their entire goal is to find the means of destroying things that may be a threat to either the Republic or Karmora as a whole. Jiraiya, however, had used the immense knowledge of the Iuna Core to begin making weapons of war which goes against their ideals, so he was outcasted, barred from the knowledge of the Iuna Core until his death.
How confident are people in his demise?
As in members of the Iuna Accord? Or...
Well, yes, but you say he died, but...
No. I said he was barred from anything in regards to the Iuna Accord until he dies.
Oh, apologies, I thought you said until he died.
Well, I have no evidence that he's still alive, but I have no evidence that he's dead.
Would the Iron Accord be holding records of his whereabouts, or have someone keeping an eye on him at all, or?
We usually leave them in a way where they could deal no harm to the Accord, or anyone else, really. Well, that's if they are thrown out of the Accord, anyway. If people leave of their own desire, then they are free to continue doing what they wish.
Maybe Alara was a former student that agreed with Raya?
Potentially, but those of the Accord tend not to bring on students. A conflict of interest, so to speak, and the Iona Accord hold many secrets.
Maybe. Mev thinks for a moment. I don't know if this would be of any significance, But Alara had. It was a spider, right?
Yeah, a spider tattoo.
She had a spider tattoo on her cheek. I don't know if it's really significant, but where I come from, tattoos tend to symbolize an organization.
You see Ferrant sort of like deep in thought. I may need to speak with my compatriots within the Accord then to see if Jiraiya had anything similar.
Nods. That's really all I can suggest, though.
No, of course. If Jiraiya has somehow gotten through the elements that he was bestowed upon when he was thrown out, then that means that we have a very real threat still.
Is there any way that we can assist? Even if not with this, maybe something to help ease your load?
Yes.
My place is here in the academy. I can't exactly go out and find this information readily. So, if you're willing to essentially be the eyes of the Accord, I am more than happy to accept it. I can't guarantee rewards outside of the satisfaction that a potential threat may be prevented, as is the duty of the Accord.
We can do that. We can keep our eyes and ears peeled.
Of course.
Of course, that's he's very helpful indeed. If that's the case, could you pass me your sending stone? Olivia had mentioned that she had provided one to you.
Yes. Mev quickly scurries to take it out. And she will hand it to him.
He just places it on the table, begins to sort of like mutter a few arcane words, a few sparks emit from the sending stone. You watch as its coloration goes from, it's sort of been like a lightish blue to a lightish green. So like pass over. There we go. Now you can talk to either Olivia or myself with it. Once a day still, but better than nothing.
Thank you. This will be very helpful for us if we find new information for you.
Indeed.
Of course, and by all means, I am willing to share any information or answer any questions that you may have, though I can't say anything about the Accord, you understand, beyond what I myself am willing to tell you.
Okay. Let me check. Yeah, Mev will look to Kindling first.
Yes, third one, what are your questions?
Third one.
No. The Accord does not use that kind of identification.
Scared of getting a tattoo, Kindling.
Not to mention, as per the spider tattoo, it sort of makes you a bit easier to find out if your organization is recognized, especially one that, while it's talked about, keeps its dealings quiet.
I think I could probably get something to show up on for. Mev, like, starts thinking about it.
Oh, Mev's priorities.
A book that seems to be locked, you say? Considering that you're approaching me and not a locksmith makes it seem that... Ah, there's the kicker. Magical. Well, let me see it.
Mev seems interested in this. She's excited for Kindling to possibly open this fucking book.
So, like, takes the book and so, like, gently places it down. And then he just begins to, like, stare at it. It's a long and intense stare. You see his sort of, like, lips move, and while you can lip read Aki, it makes no sense to you what he's saying. Like, you're not sure if he's saying, like, arcane wording, or speaking an entirely different language you don't understand. You can't ascertain what he's saying through lip reading for this. And he just stares at it for a good, like, 5 minutes. And he sort of, like, pokes it. You see arcane sparks each time. And he sort of, like, tries to mess with the lock every time. You're right, it's magically sealed. Sealed in a way that's different. This is old magic. Very old magic. So, like, continues to stare at it, continues to sort of, like, mutter these random words and sort of, like, poke it a few times. How do I make this without going too technical? The magic in this resonates with something else. Something needs to be used to open it. Brute forcing it with arcane is possible, but I've attempted several times already and been unsuccessful. Did it now? He sort of, like, very excitedly, like, takes the dagger, or what's left of it, the handle more or anything, and places it next to the, like, sort of places it next to the book and begins, like, staring at it for another 5 minutes. You see him, like, gently, like, pick up the dagger and sort of, like, place what little remains of the blade into the key. Just continue staring. We have found our key. This dagger is the key, but it's not. The blade. There's something about the blade. No, the handle is the key, but without the working blade. So, like, we're surprising he's, like, breaks off part of the rusted blade, like, that remains, and begins, like, looking at that part of it. I see. Interesting. This dagger handle appears to be the key that will open the lock for this book. You are right that the method is correct. However, the blade itself has been damaged, which means that that part of the blade needs to be reforged. However, just looking here, ordinary steel will not suffice.
Do you have any inkling of what kind of alloy or material it will need to be?
It would need to be something that is useful at absorbing magic. However, it also needs to be malleable enough that it could work as a dagger. But it's also something that is clearly affected by the elements. Or maybe, so, like, absorb the black splotches on the grip. At the same time, it's clear this has been affected by void, so that could have corroded it as well. The only ones I could think of are difficult to find here in Karmora. Hells, they're hard to find here in Enbar. Adamantite is one potential one. The other one is potentially a refined elemental stone, essentially.
I'm just writing notes.
Well, so long as it can channel magical properties effectively, and I'm sure many of you are aware of how you can enhance your blades with magic, we're talking about something beyond that. Of pure magical energy.
What happens if we choose one over the other and it's wrong?
Based on how the handle has resonated with the lock when I attempted to put it in. One second. He sort of takes out a like a letter opener and sort of places that in the lock. And then sort of places the dagger next to it as well. No resonance whatsoever. It just needs something that can channel the energy in the handle. Better than steel, given what I just tried there. I would imagine
like a lightning thing.
Yes, exactly, almost like a lightning rod. It needs something that conducts very well to magical energy. Not necessarily practical, though I would imagine whatever you make to reforge that dagger's blade would be very potent. Yes, you would even need to get a pure adamantite, not the regular stuff that they get, which is incredibly rare, or you would have to... Yes, that could work. If you're able to find an elemental and somehow bind it to a stone of sorts, one that can be fashioned into the dagger, or hells... Yes, of course, this is... Of course, why didn't I... You saw, you see the smile just creep on his face again as he, begins rummaging through his desks. Yes, of course.
The mad scientist.
He sort of, pulls out a long, thin, sort of, almost translucent stone and places it down, places it on the dagger and compares it. He, sort of reaches under another desk and sort of, pulls out, an actual dagger and compares. Yes, of course. All right. One moment, please. So, places it, places both the stone and the dagger on the floor. The one that Kinlan has, not the actual one. And begins sort of, focusing. You can't see because the desk is in the way. But you sort of watch as several, more arcane sparks show up. Until eventually there's a flash of light. In which he's oh, well... That theory worked out very well indeed. And so, pulls out the dagger. At this point, you can see that the stone, the translucent stone, has been infused to the, to the blade itself. He says, alright, so, first test. So, gently puts the, stabs the dagger into the lock. Perfect! Yes! And he sort of, places it down. He sort of, does a little bit of a jig almost as he does. So... This stone is able to transfer the energy into the blade, but it's not quite enough. However, the unique part about this stone is that it is often used to bind elementals. And elementals are pure elemental magic. Their very beings extrude magic. So, what I think you will need to do is, with the dagger, you need to find a way to entrap an elemental of sufficient strength And with its magical power, that should allow you to unlock this, in case to the book.
Go.
No, unfortunately, the elementals that we can summon would almost certainly be of insufficient strength. No, you would need a much stronger elemental. Few and far between they are, unless you go into the elemental planes themselves, in which there are abundance, but that is ill-recommended.
So basically, we should get one of these stones that can bind an elemental, and if we so happen to come across one powerful enough, we can bind it with this?
Well, with this infused on the dagger, it is ready to bind an elemental.
Oh!
So how would it work? Basically just stab an elemental with the dagger when it's binded, or?
It must be the
or
killing
a
blow, but
or-
yes. Thankfully, with these stones, they are remarkably effective against elemental creatures.
We
It-
need to find one that would be good enough.
And I could only imagine as well, should the lock not drain the magic of the elemental, that whatever whatever the dagger becomes afterwards would be a rather helpful tool. Depending on the elemental that you actually absorb. He sort of hands both the book and your new dagger back. I will quickly write the handout. While you guys ponder. I'll let everyone see it just because.
I love a good pondering.
Kindling, you hear very cheerily in your head. See, I told you we would fight something. Isn't that great?
Like a nerd.
Mev's just grinning from ear to ear. She looks so happy.
It doesn't surprise me. Compared to the academy, librarians are essentially children just learning how to read. And I'm not saying that in an egotistical way. I'm simply referring to the fact that they have general knowledge, we have arcane knowledge. And this is very much requiring arcane knowledge.
Do you know what kind of elemental would be sufficient? Like, do they have particular names?
Not quite. How best to word this? You know how with dragons, they sort of get, what is the word for it? You have, like, young dragons, and then adult dragons, and then ancient dragons.
Like, they get stronger with age?
Yes, exactly. But not to mention, certain elements are just generally stronger. For example, if you were to deal with, say, an air or a water or an earth or a fire elemental, those are relatively benign compared to, say, a fire-infused water elemental or an ice elemental or ones of specific rarer elements.
Fire-infused water elemental.
Yes, fire-infused water. Even then,
That wouldn't, like, cancel each other out.
if you were to refer to normal fire and water, yes. But this is elemental. the most chaotic of energies that this world has. However, if you want a comparison, I would say we typically call the more ancient elementals Myrmidons.
Okay.
No. Myrmidon spelled Myrmidon.
Yeah.
Merm. Would a lightning one count, like what I said?
Lightning elementals are interesting, in which I don't think they would work. Again, you would need something akin to a Myrmidon or of equal power. There may be regular elementals with that amount of strength, but at a base level, probably not.
Okay, it would have been funny.
However, even if the elemental is not of sufficient strength, you don't need to worry about the dagger becoming useless. I imagine it would have a certain effect that you can keep until you essentially expunge the magic.
Right.
Say you get a baby fire elemental and then you stab someone with it. It would, like, make their skin burn and then, oop, elemental gone. Go find a new one.
Potentially, there's the way these stones tend to... It is dependent on the strength of the elemental, yes. If we were to take a newly formed elemental, odds are it might cause a nasty burn to the wound, but it would also expel all the elementals. But then you take a regular elemental, it might have an additional benefit for it, say... An air elemental might give you slightly increased speed if you were to make use of its power.
Okay.
And with Myrmidons, I could imagine their power could be almost permanent.
So, in theory, if we were to capture one of these stupendously powerful Myrmidons, how stable would the binding on the stone be? So, say for instance, we captured essentially the god of fire in the stone, and how long would it be? And would there be a possibility of him of it breaking the bindings in the stone and making a fiery maelstrom the size of Ansor?
I think he's asking how powerful is too powerful.
You would know if it was too powerful. Essentially, the energies from the elemental would start erupting from the stone itself. And then eventually the stone itself would fail, and it would break free from its bindings, and, well... If you were brought to an inch of your life before, you would now be facing a very fully healed elemental that is probably very angry about being sealed. My advice, if that would happen, throw the dagger away, wait a few days for it to break free and go elsewhere, come back and retrieve it.
No matter to the amount of havoc and mayhem and chaos incredibly angry elemental would be upon this plane.
I mean, if you wish to fight it again, then by all means, just don't have the killing blow be with the dagger. Unfortunately, the stone is specifically designed that it can only hold one elemental. If you were to kill another one with it when one is currently residing within it, essentially the magic inside the stone currently would be snuffed out by the one that you add to it.
Cool.
And if you were to put powerful entities in there, odds are they would obliterate themselves and anything around them. We are talking about the chaotic elemental energy, not the regular fire and water and ice and such.
Or if we don't want to face these creatures, we just need to find some incredibly high quality adamantite.
Yes, of course. Though this is pure adamantite that you're looking for, which is rarer than regular adamantite.
How are we talking about it? As in, only like a handful of known examples in the entire world, or?
Yes.
So it's either find an incredibly rare one-of-a-kind sort of metal, or best the very incarnations of the forces of nature in battle.
And of course, locating the incarnations.
Yes, of course. Sorry, I was getting too eager, apparently. Yes.
I guess this is going to take a while.
Potentially, yes, depending on how your luck holds and where you go. However, at the very least, I am confident that once you get an elemental of sufficient strength, or you're able to coat the stone blade in pure adamantine, that you should be able to open the lock and finally see the secrets within. I must say, I'm quite curious myself.
Well, of course, there's always the chance that whatever secrets were within the book aren't unknown. Could be personally important, but not important outside one person's own lifetime, you know?
Based on the fact that the handle of the dagger has been tainted by void, I'm quite curious.
Sounds like a lot.
It can be a lot to take in. For simplicity's sake, there can't speak.
Sake?
Simplicity's sake, find a powerful enough elemental, absorb it into the dagger, and the lock will open.
Okay. Still, much easier said than done, though, and extraordinary risk of loss of life.
Potentially, though.
All just for a book.
Yes, however, a book using old magic. I don't think you understand the ramifications of that. This is magic that potentially predates the current kingdoms.
Like, so, thousands of years, or?
Potentially. We're talking maybe even around the time of the Dark. Either during or after. And just think of the knowledge that be in there. We have no written record, barring a few scraps of what happened during that time. If this is even just a diary, which I doubt given the protections that are put on it, imagine what is in there.
Right, I see what you mean.
And in regards to finding on the mountain with lightning constantly striking it, lightning doesn't surprise me. Metal lock, metal dagger, lightning likes metal as opposed to rock, so lightning would attack it. But on top of a mountain, now that is interesting. Why would it be on there? Many threads, many threads.
For a second I thought he was going to go, now what on earth is a mountain? Where was this? Is that curiosity, like... No. I don't think if I would have heard of this mountain that's always being struck by lightning.
No.
If it's kind of almost become like almost like a legendary place.
You know that mountains sometimes, can be a target for lightning strikes because, lightning wants to get to ground as quickly as possible.
Yeah, of course. Okay, fair enough. I was wondering if it was like... Okay.
Well, I don't really think we can ask anymore. We have to find the big elemental and stab it. Or get adamantite. Pure adamantite. That's going to take a while.
Yes.
Although, Mevelair, you are wrong. There's one more thing we could ask for.
What?
An autograph.
You you see at this point, like, the eager demeanor just sort of, like, vanishes to, like, general embarrassment. Well, I've never, done one before, but I'd be happy to.
Anki, could we use some of your paper and get an autograph?
Oh, no, I've got parchment and ink of my own. It's fine. I can, excuse me a second. Just pulls out some
I didn't
parchment.
know you were such a fan of the arcane Havelock.
Neither did I, and frankly, I'm not quite sure what... I mean, I suppose having the man's signature of a highly esteemed, highly tenured and respected master of the arcane would be useful. But
So, like, puts the sand on it to dry it and so, like, tips it out. It's like, there you go.
Thank you so much.
that is so cursed.
Oh man.
Still, I'm
So it's
very...
said he can't delete things on this.
Still, I'm glad that I was able to at least help you with some of your own mysteries. I don't doubt that you will be able to very much continue on with this and be successful.
Yes. Likewise. Tell me, how are the goings on at the college?
Same as always, we get people come in. They find that the studies are too difficult, too monotonous, and leave, or they stay and go off to the various corners of the world.
Interesting. And just with the design of the place, I suppose you have different schools of magic headquartered in different buildings along the hexagon, yes?
Yes.
So we have magic colleges back home in Naza, but I don't think they're quite this grand.
We have, because of the fact that Karmora was very isolated until a few decades ago, we had to depend on what we could get, and with the use of arcane, we were able to basically make things work and aid us. Nowadays, however, with the opening of trade, it has been less dependent upon, and so, while the academy is still very grand, it's not like magic is very widespread.
Right. Interesting. So this place is entirely made out of magic then? There's not a... This place was... All the shining stone and marble in this place wasn't individually hand cut and polished.
Oh, it was, it was. It's just that we then magically enchanted it. Yes, the careful placement of arcane runes within the stoneworking had allowed us to make it more malleable, and just in general, the fact that we can cast spells that allow us to manipulate matter. Transmutation is one of the schools of magic, after all. And so we simply kept the bits that we didn't need to be enchanted, and enchanted the parts which we needed to be enchanted.
See, sorry, it's a bit of a... I don't have quite much knowledge of this area that, like, my expertise is more in the druidic arts.
Ah, one of those druid fellows, yes.
Yes, one of those fellows, yes indeed.
Of which the Academy respects the druidic arts, though we do not teach it. We prefer our own arcane methods over the druidic ones, but we respect what druidic magic has brought in.
Yes. It uses the very power of nature itself to create wonders.
Of course, there's very little difference between the arcane and the druidic. It's simply that the arcane uses the pure essence of magic, whereas the druidic uses the magic imbued with nature. In a way, it could be seen that druidic magic is simply another school of magic.
I wonder how many of your fellow mages and Accord members would agree with you there.
Their opinion is their own, just like mine is my own.
So perhaps perhaps as the headmaster one day, would you be at all open to allowing druidic teachings in your college? Or
I've always had that policy.
yeah, I imagine they kept. Besides the point, I think we have our information. We've relayed information onto you and sorted out. And our quest to slay an elemental, which is I'm sure we'll cross that bridge when we get to it eventually. Yes, I don't have any other business to contend with. Anyone else?
Going back to what we were talking about before with the a congregation, the council thing.
Yes.
Is there anyone that we should maybe watch out for, or someone that would assist us? Like if we were in a certain area, I suppose.
Do you mean in regards to like the Accord or the Zamaha Council, or?
I don't fucking know. I forgot the name already. I'm sorry. The group of mages that kicked out Jiraiya.
The Ioun Accord, right.
Yes,
Gotcha.
thank you.
Understand that the Ioun Accord will only reveal themselves of their own choosing. So, even if you were to speak with someone who is of the Accord, and quote my name as a former member of it, that won't necessarily mean that they will reveal themselves as a member. It is their choice, and their choice alone.
Right.
Okay, I was kind of hoping to at least get a read on who might have sympathized with Jiraiya, perhaps, if there was anyone against it. But
Ah,
okay.
you wish to know anyone that was more on the side of Jiraiya?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a look into that one. I can't guarantee I can get you names, but I don't doubt, since it was a unanimous vote to kick him out of the Accord, that there are many people that sympathize with him. But I will keep an eye out, and I shall make the Accord be aware of its new sets of eyes in the Telaria.
Good enough.
Indeed.
Nev will look to the rest of the group. Is there anything else? That's all I could think of.
Oh. Also, are you planning on involving Olivia in this information, or?
Olivia is not a member of the Accord. She
Well, no, but
wishes
she
to
can
be a
still-
part of it.
She can still assist in our efforts, couldn't she?
I will at least tell her to keep an eye out for anyone with similar tattoos. But given this is a Accord business, technically, I can't really tell her much else.
All right. Okay. She's a. I hope at this point a trusted friend and another expert voice on the arcane.
And I'm sure that if she is able to achieve killing Gizaleaf, that she would be a welcomed addition to the Accord.
Yes, if you just
Or something of equivalent merit, so to speak. Either that, or she has a long road of getting into the Accord.
As I imagine it's a group that elite is an incredibly arduous process to be appointed into it.
It took me many decades to get into the Accord. That will give you an idea, since I took the slow route. Now, if there's no further questions, then you are free to leave. Which one would be best? That one points towards the wall and just watches the bricks sort of like slide away, leaving a passageway. As I say, you're free to leave. Simply follow the passageway and it will leave you out near the foyer.
Superb. Thank you greatly. Of course, if the second we hear anything, we'll be immediately onto the sending stone, so you'll be aware of it. Do not worry.
Of course, and good luck with your quest, both for the book and anything about Jiraiya.
Yeah, and I will head down the passageway that just opened up.
As you sort of like walk towards the passageway, your chair just sort of like walks its way back to where it was.
Mev will go ahead and get up and
we
start
didn't
following
drop the
Aki.
Marine is typing. Okay.
Block, are you coming with us?
Always.
Okay, so all of you leave the room, though Marine sort of hangs back. Yes, automaton, is there something you wish to say?
Indeed, there is. You are very well versed in various forms of magic in schools, correct?
Yes, my specialty is divination, but I am adept in the other schools.
And would you perhaps know who would be an expert on extraplanar magic?
There's many assortment, however, they're all teaching at the moment, but I, as headmaster and with a vast set of decades of knowledge, I could potentially answer that for you.
Thank you. For you see, I have a question about traversing the plains.
Planar travel. Go on.
How complicated would it be to learn to travel between planes? Is it something that anyone could potentially do, or would it require years of learning?
Well, planar travel is one of the most difficult and dangerous feats of arcane prowess in the world. Think of how you travel upon the realm on foot. Now imagine that as akin to a child trying to draw something that at least slightly resembles something for the first time. Difficult, yes, but by no means impossible. Now the more experienced arcane users can teleport around the world through various methods. Think of that as a child drawing something to win a contest which could help their family. And then you get to planar travel. Imagine planar travel as the child being told to paint something fit for a king who would execute them if they do not impress them. Morbid, I know, but it gives you an idea of the scale of challenge and danger that each method is. A plunge into any of the planes is a risk, since the fabric of those worlds shift and twist. It also means it's complicated to go over to it. Imagine our plane as the wooden bed frame, and the other planes as sheets. And imagine being a restless person. The bedsheet twists and turns, meaning that no two areas you go to will be the exact same. I say this to make it clear that this is not an easy thing to do. Could you learn it? Yes, absolutely. You could learn how to do planar travel, but that's only half the battle. Hell, that's only a third of the battle. To go to another plane, you also need something that's being very existence is infused with that element. Otherwise, you may end up in a subplane or, worse, are cast in the astral sea. And of course, once you get to the plane, you have to deal with the various things that are in there. Environmental or denizen otherwise. Why? Which plane is it that you're referring to going to, since you are clearly expressing an interest?
Plane I'm going to, I believe, is the elemental plane of water.
A plane of water? One of the odder elemental planes. Very odd elemental plane.
Indeed it is. And by needing something from said plane, would a denizen of it work?
No, it needs to be an item unless that denizen's willing to sacrifice itself.
That is good to know.
Essentially, think
Very
of
good
the
to know.
infused item as an anchor. Essentially, that is what you do when you go into the various planes. You are using an anchor to that plane to ensure that you get through to it. Otherwise, as I say, you could find yourself in a plane between planes, or, worst, cast out among the astral sea.
Thank you. This is very useful knowledge for me.
Of course, and I hope that In your quest, you'll find the answers you seek.
Indeed, I shall keep looking for them. However, this was perhaps one of the biggest steps I have taken so far.
Well, learning the incantations is the easiest part. The hardest part is arguably surviving, but the next hardest is simply finding that purely infused item. So I would not worry about, could I learn these spells, and more think of, could I find ways to survive in that plane? And if so, where can I find the item that will get me there?
Indeed. Nod and start to leave.
The chair just walks back to where it was. And as you leave through the passageway, it closes behind you, and it just, as you move further, the passage keeps closing. Never to the point where you feel like threatened. In fact, you stop a few times, and the passage itself stops closing. You just keep following until eventually you join the rest of your party out in the foyer. Righty. Ironic timing there, Nate, because I was going to say, unless anyone's doing anything immediately afterwards, like for the remainder of the day, we can fast forward to the start of Foundation Day and take a quick 10-minute break. Unless
I don't have anything in mind, really, no.
No? Nobody else? I'll take the silence as a no. Okay, I'll take that silence as a no. Okay, so let's take a 10-minute break. We'll go on a break. It is the start of the next day. Foundation Day has arrived. And all around the city, there are various individuals sort of celebrating, partying. You hear from the several town criers that for those wanting to see the proper opening of Foundation Day, to head to the main square just outside the tourist district before the noontime. So is there anything that anyone wishes to do, or do we want to fast forward to whatever it is that you guys decide to do? And you're in a celebration day, so
Yeah, like in the morning, Mev, gets the table set up as usual, and she seems really excited about all of this. Sorry, I'm finishing up the last bit of my food. She looks to everyone when they're at the table. Okay, so what are we doing today? What's our plan of action?
Well, I don't quite rightly know. With this festival, I'm not quite sure if there's games and food and merchants and frivolity and fun things to keep ourselves occupied with. I don't quite know, honestly, so I'm not sure if I'd be much help formulating a plan rather than just, say, play it by ear and forge our own path as we're walking it.
So I'm not from... just walk in and see what happens?
I'm not from Karmora. I don't quite know what happens these days.
Mev will look to the rest of the group. Okay, if we're going to wing it, then do we have any ground rules?
He does not get to drink.
Yes, Aki, no drinks.
I've been trying to tell you this whole time. How do we find on the same page?
He gets to sample the juices.
Don't say it like that.
He has to
The
drink at the
juice,
kiddie
yeah.
table.
Something very creepy about he must sample the juices. Not the juice, the juices.
Right.
Jan,
Now,
what you gonna
block,
do about it? Yeah?
no assassination stuff. No, I'm going to go and beat this person up. Do you want to come with me and beat them up too?
When have I tried to assassinate anyone?
Mallory.
Listen, I was not attempting to assassinate him. That was that dumb fucking cow's idea. It's not my fault you guys decided to listen to him. I wanted to beat him up and knock him out, not murder.
It still wasn't a good idea.
It was very
So
much a
nothing
good
like
idea.
that. Okay?
Meh.
Oh, we should all have at least one person with us. It's very easy to get lost in these things.
Yes, and I think that's a good ground rule as well. Nothing, I can't believe, I honestly just say this, but nothing that will get us in trouble with the law. So, no pickpocketing, no trying to racketeer people, no stealing, no taking advantage of the drunk, or murdering someone who looks at you funny. Just enjoy your day and don't be a nuisance, basically.
I'm feeling very called out right now, and I do not appreciate that.
Central meeting point. I mean, does the inn count? Okay. I don't know where we could meet that would be clear. I imagine there's going to be a lot of people running around.
We could find a particular drink stall and meet up there.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, maybe something with like a big banner that we can spot easy.
Mm-hmm. Let's
That makes
see,
sense,
let's
yeah.
see. Or we could try and meet close to the square. Like the main
Could people
area.
be there though? I mean, it's kind of the easiest point, but how are we going to find ourselves in all those people?
Mevalair, sweetie, have you seen us?
Mev pauses and like looks at Havelock. Okay, I know I could definitely find kindling.
Did you just call me plain?
You're a human with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Motherfucker, you're tiny. If anything, we should just worry about losing you.
Well,
Mev turns to kindling. I could definitely spot you.
well, I mean, if we're talking about obvious sights, I'm sure there's no missing a giant warforged covered in seaweed.
See, Havelock, kindling could find me.
You would be surprised, Aki.
I suppose we're not by the sea, so I don't know how well. Well, we are sort of by the sea, but not swimming in the ocean right now. You stick out a little bit more on land, don't you?
Depend on
Bit.
if there's warforged running around.
Have we seen any warforged out and about in Ember while we've been here?
You've seen a handful.
Okay, that's one thing.
Okay, so when in doubt, look for kindling and marine.
All right.
We'll find a place when we're there to meet up. Mev thinks about it more for a moment. Is there any kind of curfew, I guess, that we should meet up by? I mean, I don't think we necessarily have to leave, but if we get split up, we like meet up there, go, hi, I'm fine, and then like go get drunk.
Maybe every other hour?
Oh, that's so much work though.
That
Just go
seems
back and forth.
that seems excessive. What about sundown?
Sundown. Okay.
Also, I found maybe a neck in your 2x2 system.
Hmm?
Hold on. You know it counts. Hold on. I'm doing this. This is out of game. This counts. Aki, Marine, Neville, Marine, Aki, Havelock, Neville, Marine, Kinley. Well, by design, there's going to be a group of one group of 3, and a group of 2.
About Dawes.
Oh, right, you're counting Dawes.
He could come with one of us.
I suppose, but see, I suppose in your mind the buddy system is there to prevent people from getting lost in the crowd, correct?
From getting lost, from getting beaten up, from getting things stolen.
You see, I'm more worried about members of our party inflicting all those things on others.
Alright then, Aki, I guess you're being my buddy.
I'd love to.
I pick Kinling.
Alright, so I guess Daz is going with Marine.
Indeed.
What form is Daz taking in this?
Him's gonna be a burb. Burb can nest on the seaweed hair.
Obviously, if we decide to continue on during the night, we can, switch things up.
Yeah, is that a promise?
You make that sound so weird.
Yes, there seems to be a lot of implication in that.
Sorry, I just remembered something that Mev wants to do. Okay. I think we've got everything? Yes?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. This is very exciting. I'm very excited to see the festival with you all.
Okay. So, as mentioned, the event formally kicks off like just before the afternoon. So you guys, unless you guys decide you're not gonna attend the ceremony for it, you have the morning to do whatever it is that you feel like doing. So, what is it that you wish to do?
Well, first, does anyone have anything that they wish to do?
It seems you do.
Whatever Mev tells me. Okay. So no one else?
I mean, did Aki and Havelock have their morning run?
I would assume so, yes, given that you've had the conversation as everyone was getting set up. Because I assume you do your morning run before you guys eat breakfast.
Yeah.
Then yes, you would have.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
if you really want to, they could go for another run.
I don't know if that's strictly necessary. I mean, I do zero exercise. I don't want to keep getting constantly shown up by my own D&D character.
You're the only one that can change that path, Edward.
Yes, I know. You're not my dad.
I'm better than your dad.
Jesus.
Okay. I mean, if no one's doing anything for the morning part, then we can just go straight forward to the opening ceremony.
Okay.
I'm just debating this because I'm wondering if Kindling's gonna be mad at me. But Mev is going to approach Kindling like when everyone else is getting kind of like just ready for the day. Kindling. Hi. So, a little while ago, like back in Lenarch, at least I think it was Lenarch, I maybe got something for you.
Oh god.
Because I thought that it would look really cute. Okay, so, just know that you can say no to it. But I thought that was really cute and we can be kind of matchy. Mev takes out a fucking, like, choker with a little, it's like a little gold, pendant almost. It kind of matches hers, but it doesn't have the same design carved into it. It's a choker. I thought that would look really nice, like with your fur, like in contrast. I wanted to get something kind of jingly because I thought that that would be fun, but then I didn't think that you would like that because that's kind of silly, and also it would, be very distracting or alert people when we were trying to be sneaky. So I just got this.
You really sound like a 10-year-old trying to flirt with their first crush.
Do you want that? How does he look? Does he look like he actually wants to put this on? Okay, you can try it on. I mean, if you don't want it on your neck, the fabric that it is on is like stretchy, so you could technically tie it and put it on your wrist.
Oh, it just reminds me of an avocado.
Thanks. So sorry, Kindling. Oh no, it doesn't actually choke you. It's like it's a type of necklace. It just means that it's close to your neck, like see, like mine. And Mev lifts her neck a little bit to show you. Hers is made of like leather. So it probably definitely isn't stretchy like yours is. But hers is made of like a black leather, and you can see a big, like, almost like a coin, a big golden coin on it with a weird kind of engraving. Mm-hmm. Just I got the stretchy one for you because I thought, and don't take this the wrong way, I thought you had the big head. Mev looks so pleased as you put it on. So, what do you think? No choking.
But it's a choker. What?
Your new totem? What is that? Mm? Oh, I remember you showing this before. But I don't think you explained to me what specifically it did. I remember you showing me before, but I don't think you explained what specifically it did.
Kindling is typing.
I was half tempted to go, kindling, what's ping? Ugh. See? Well, that seems pretty important. You shouldn't switch it out, right? I mean, I can't imagine what you'd use mine for anyways. Oh, that's why you're so fluffy. So what? Like you'd add the teeth? I mean, if you want to do that, uh, I just got it because I thought it would look nice on you. Well, I think it looks pretty cute. I can't account for anyone else, but if they say anything, I can just hit them. And she like does like a fake punch in the air, like bam. Yeah, blam. I'm glad that you like it. I think you like it. Do you? I see you'd rather be gaming, Thomas.
Just picked around random shirts and it's like, oh, okay. I mean, technically this is gaming. Tabletop gaming. So...
Mev gives a big smile. Alright, I'm really glad, and I hope that you can figure out the teeth thing. I'm very flattered that, you would use it for that. Okay, we should go.
Okay, so, does anyone do anything before the opening ceremony again? Or, yeah, it's just going to go to the opening of... the official opening of Foundation Day.
I think we're good to go.
I'm curious about the opening ceremony and what it looks like, so...
Okay, so, I'll say you spend some time mellowing around. You can sort of see over by the consul's palace, there's sort of scaffolding that brings everything up to like maybe 2 stories above, like everyone else, where you can see various bards like playing just playing general instruments and such. The square is packed. In fact, several like groups are sort of trailing out beyond the other roads, as people are just sort of like conversing, having fun, around the various stalls and such, admiring the statues. Eventually, you sort of like look back up over at the Premier Palace where the stone platform is, and the stone platform's real high up, like maybe 5 stories tall, above the other ground. You can see that there's many guards that are like flanking either side, several individuals on top of the platform. The one in particular that has like the most guards around him is what appears to be a dark-skinned human. She female, wearing like regal purple robes. You assume human anyway. It's difficult to tell from the distance, but just based on like height and build and such. You can see that she's conversing with a tall Goliath in bright blue robes. Besides them, you see another dark-skinned humanoid wearing just a more casual blue tunic, who's talking to the guards, who are clearly ignoring this individual. But eventually, one of the guards like walks forward, pulls out an ox horn, and like blows into it, which echoes around the city. Eventually, the chatter dies down, and you watch as the lady sort of like walks up to the my brain died on me there. So to the wall that sort of stops you falling off the platform as she begins to speak, and her voice echoes almost like it's been magically amplified. As you sort of like notice as she begins to speak, the Goliath sort of like makes a few movements and so like holds on the last sort of like gesture as her voice is amplified over basically the entire square. Friends, comrades, citizens, I, Premier Joanna Vorm, welcome you all to these days of celebration. For today is the start of Foundation Day, where we celebrate the joining of the tribes over a century ago to grow into the nation that you see before you. It has not been easy, and we have weathered many storms in our time, from our victory in Lenarch during our infancy, to defeating the Pirate King on the Day of the Sea. We have grown more powerful, we have grown larger, and now we have gained, most importantly, trading partners and friends from around Karmora. She indicates to the various other well-dressed individuals that are sort of nearby. I especially would like to hope that our representatives from these great nations here today, from Jurhan, Arizar, and even our close neighbors, the land of tended earth, will join us in these days of celebration as we march onward to bettering ourselves as a nation. Then it's just gradual applause that starts and cheering from the populace as the premier just sort of like bows deeply a few times before stepping back. At this point, the other dark-skinned human walks up. The Goliath makes the same movements again and holds on the last gesture. As the man speaks up, his voice is amplified. Alright, folks, don't worry, I'm not going to be formal about it. That's for the representatives and for the more business folk when they do their jobs. We're here to celebrate. As a cheer from everyone, you notice some of the guards and the Goliath. You're fairly sure, especially you, Aki, giving you a perception that they're rolling their eyes right now at this. So, for those of you that don't want to hang around for the opening ceremony, you go to the Command District if you want the main event. If not, then by all means, enjoy it. The city is essentially a giant carnival. Also, you go to the Command District. If you see a city as a speck in the distance, you've gone too far. You see several individuals at that point just begin to push through the crowd. Some of them more armored that you noticed. Do you remain or do you follow on?
What did he say about the command district? It happened so fast.
That's where the main event is for today.
Okay.
You see a few people start heading towards it. He says, yeah, the command district's the main bit, or if you want to stay and continue on with the main ceremony, by all means.
Mev looks to the group. Do you want to go to the main event together and then split up after?
Well, it isn't the command district, aren't... Didn't a few of us say that we didn't want to be seen dead in there? You know, given the fact that it's, well, the gods are.
I doubt that they would deal with us today. I mean, there's going to be a bunch of people pushing through. It'd be amazing if they even saw us and recognized us. Plus, there's going to be a bunch of assaults, drunken disorderlies. They'll basically have their hands full. They wouldn't want to deal with pirates minding their own business. As long as we don't do anything. Mev looks at Havelock.
I mean, I can't say with any certainty, but I suppose if you were that notoriously wanted, then we would have known it by now, so...
Apparently, people just think I'm dead. We're good.
The dark-skinned humanoid also as well looks like he's just waiting a little bit, but it looks like he has more to say. But it's like he's waiting for those that don't care about the opening ceremony to go. Continue. It's just basically like, before you guys decide, hey, we're gonna leave. It's like, oh wait, do we want to see the ceremony?
Well, I mean, we could see the ceremony and then go to the command district after.
I can't imagine that the main event will start before the end of the ceremony, so we could see if there's anything else important here.
All right then. I'm inclined to agree.
All right. So the Dancing Human just waits a little bit, and then as most of them seem to have left, says, "Right, okay. Those that are more in action seem to have left. Good. All right. So the 5 great clans of our nation struck their names from the annals of history. And though we don't remember their names, we do remember that we came from these tribes. And so for today, we look back to before the Republic, when we were all about simply might, of survival. First, the tribes fought each other. When the Lung's Bane arrived, we fought her too, driving that scum back to her home, though the clans were greatly diminished from it. But it's because of that constant fighting, merely due to tribalism, that we became strong, that we're able to win in the Siege of the Notch as well. So, who likes fighting big old beasties? See, like, a few people, like, raise their hand and a few sort of, like, yell out in agreement.
Is this what the opening ceremony is? Are we going to have to fight in an arena?
So, those of you that raise your hands or yelled anything out, hope you realize that there's thousands of you. I'm about 5 feet up, so you just made yourselves look silly. That or you're trying to show your girlfriend that you got balls. Or boyfriends, ain't judging. Anyway, I say this because after this opening ceremony, the first event's going to be Test of Strength. Over in the Command District, we got a bunch of people willing to fight beasties, and if you're crazy enough or you want to really show you got balls, you can feel free to take part. Don't know what the missions are, go ahead and ask the fellow there, but keep in mind as well, limited spaces over there. But don't worry, got plenty of strength and dexterity and combat-related stuff here. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and declare this Foundation Day celebration open. At this point, the band just erupts into music. You sort of see from up above, several, like with the platform, as everyone moves away, several dancers with, like, I forget what they're called. It's a stick with the stream, like the ribbon at the end of it that they use for dancing. Streamers. I thought they had a different name, but yeah,
I believe that they do have a different name,
but we know them
streamers
as
is simple enough.
Yeah, which there is streamers and acrobats and such as they essentially begin to play. At this point, the crowd sort of like begins dispersing. Others remain as they deal with the opening ceremony. Others just go like straight towards the Command District or start taking place with some of the various games. The last thing you hear from the from the speaker, I'll just call it the speaker just to make it easier, says, "Don't forget, main event's in about 3 hours and it's gonna be till sundown." The ceremony continues on. At this point, you can see like the various. It's like a circus opening practically, with acrobats and such.
By the way, it's called a ribbon wand.
Ribbon wand, that was it. I was thinking it was like ribbon something, like ribbon stick. That doesn't sound right.
Mev looks to the rest of the group. So the main event is the fighting, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, what are we going to do? Are we going to watch or are we going to join?
What,
It could be enjoyable to join.
The fighting tournament?
Yeah. You know,
So that would be-
Aki, if you're afraid to go in there as yourself, you could go as a bear.
I still have consciousness and control over my actions. It's like my entire being leaves as soon as I turn into an. I still have to physically move my limbs.
Aki, if you don't want to join, you could just like watch the people who do.
No. I have a duty of care to make sure that you fools don't kill yourselves.
going to kill ourselves. It's a public event. I doubt that
Accidents
they
can
would do
happen.
that.
Accidents can happen. And
Oh,
besides,
that's really interesting.
I have my own abilities. It might not be my exact cup of tea, but I can see the good word of mouth and the good publicity that a group of us sorted could gain by winning the main event.
Aw, thanks, Dad.
So are we all going to join?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Alright. Do you want to partake in any of the carnival games before the main event, or would you like to go
Ooh, yeah,
to the
what
main
carnival
event?
games are there?
Well, do we have to sign up first?
Um,
Because they said it was limited space.
limited space, but they were more referring to seating to watch.
Okay. Good to know. And
I mean, you do need to
Is
sign
it
up,
like-
obviously, but when they said,
Yeah.
but the limited space, it was literally like, we can't fit an entire city inside the arena.
yeah. And is it 1-on-1 or is there like group stuff?
So you ask like one of the guards who are keeping track of things, like, oh no, it's you're going as a I mean, you can go in by yourself, but you're going as a group, and you fight a bunch of creatures basically. It's there's no like person versus person stuff, at least not today. Tomorrow we got like like more casual like wrestling and stuff like that.
Okay. Then we will sign up as a group then.
You got to sign up over at the event itself. So like looks over at his friend. Who's the person that's looking after it? That's a drill sergeant. Yeah, fucking. Look for drill sergeant Luria. He's a Greyford Leonin. Can't miss him.
Okay. Yes.
What was his name again?
Luria. Luyra.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Drill Sergeant Luria, Greyford,
Leonin.
Then we should go sign up for that first and then do some carnival games
And then we
like
can
in the meantime.
party and freak out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you head towards the command district, heavily militarized area, given it's a military district. And you get pointed towards the... Once I get it here, because I have too many names in this goddamn place. It's almost like it's a capital city. It's near about the Zamahan HQ. You do spot other places, so like the garrison of the... Mev and Havelock would know this. You do go past one building, which you sort of like have both been warned not to go through, which is called the Garrison of the Matatag, which is the elite troops of the Republic.
Okay. So like don't go through there. Go like around.
Yeah. Yeah. So you sort of like have to. It's sort of like in the center of the district itself, so you sort of like see it's like, no, we're going to go this way, and just like give it a wide berth.
Oh look, a detour. Do.
It's much faster this way, trust me. There's probably a bunch of people packed there.
But eventually you head towards the Samahan HQ. You can sort of see where the arena is. It's near the actual like main building itself, which is a building. It dwarfs all the other buildings in the district, including the garrison. You can even see, like, on the roof, there's a multitude of weaponry and everything. It seems like almost like a fortress, just slap dab in the middle. But you sort of see to the side that there's various tents, a few armed individuals, mercenaries from the looks of things. Others seem a bit more, like, formal, like, almost like guards, but not Zamahan. So I take it you're looking for the drill sergeant.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's easy enough to find him. Greyford Leonin kind of sticks out in this place. You eventually find him sort of at the far side of the of the training field, so you do walk about a little bit. I'd say it takes about an hour in total to like travel there and then find him. But it only took you about 20 minutes to actually get here. But eventually you see him. He's in his full like military attire, barring the helmet. He has like a thick mane of fur, and dull amber eyes as he's just sort of like talking down essentially to one of the. It definitely looks like a person who just like picked up whatever weapons they could to partake. And he sort of like walked up to me, just finished just saying, No. I'm not even gonna think about writing your name in there, alright? Get lost, get some gear, get training, then maybe come back next year. The very underarmed individual sort of like slumps his shoulder and just walks off and just watches him walk, so says, Alright there.
Yes, good day. Me and my friends here, we'd like to sign up for the fighting tournament.
Right. So combatants, yeah?
Sure, yes.
Right. So before you agree with it all, I gotta tell you what the rules are and everything. So, it's 3 rounds. Mostly of the same difficulty, but it's about endurance more than anything. You got 1 hour of rest between rounds, but even though we got clerics, they ain't gonna heal you until you forfeit. So keep in mind, real chance of death here. There's no restrictions in the area, barring if you leave the arena you're considered forfeiting. We have guards placed, but they're not gonna help you unless you forfeit. And supposing if you're entering the tournament, you want to know how much it is to get in and how much you get if you win. It's 20 gold each.
If we win.
No. To get in.
Each?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. And then the prize?
Well, the prize is part of a pot of 10,000 gold that's split depending on how much you win. So let's say you win 1 fight. You get 1,000 gold split between you and any other team that won. You win 2, it's 4,000. You win all 3, 6,000. So really, it also depends on how the other teams do. If they don't do too good, then you got better chance of getting a bigger split. I assume you're writing this down, Ed?
I am, yeah.
Okie dokie.
Alright, and I hope you don't mind me asking, but how many recruits have you signed up already? I see you're not exactly letting in any old ref into the fight.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty good judging character here, but we got some people from Jurahan, some from Arazar, a couple from Attended Earth, a bunch of mercenaries came and took part too. Well, they signed up, I should say. Mostly been sending people back because it's clear that, they're farm boys who would not last against what we got.
I suppose it's the kind of activity where you almost sort of sign up as a bet or to impress someone to look as strong and manly and heroic to a potential suitor or someone.
Yeah, you have no idea how many people I've turned away because they were doing that.
I'm surprised you. In that case, I'm somewhat surprised you don't ask people to sign up beforehand, so you don't have this sudden rush of people deciding to do it on the day.
Well, typically because the people that tend to arrive are the more combat capable ones.
Anyway, I think I think we might stand a better chance than most others. Statistically, I don't think we'd exactly succumb to the first round or go down incredibly easily. But so I think yes, we would like to sign up.
Alrighty.
We are, and I sort of looked at the rest of the group and I was like, so we haven't changed our minds, have we? We're definitely doing this, yes.
Yes, indeed, we are.
I beg
Sure,
that
you
you...
said we could die doing this.
Death is very real. The clerics will do their best. However, again, they don't get involved until you actively forfeit.
Right. And how does one forfeit? Just without, dying?
You simply declare it, like you raise your hand up and, shout it at the top of your lungs. We got a lot of observant people, and there's a lot of guards, so they'll keep an eye out.
Okay, good. All right.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a leader either. We're not about having reluctant people being dragged through a fight.
Of course, of course.
The bigger
Yes,
that you have a
yeah.
groups, roughly about the size of yours. There was a 6-person one, but one of them looked a little bit ill, so I think they're down to 5. We've got a group of 4. But they're mostly your size.
All right then. Well, where do we sign then?
So you accept all the stuff, risk of death, etc.
I'll again turn to the group.
Just need to hear you say that you agree with that.
We are going through with this, yes. Right. Yes. Oh, yes. We'll agree to the
Indeed.
to the death and the injury and the maiming and the cash money and all that.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So that'd be 20 gold from all of you then for your entry fee.
Right. Okay.
And then
let me find it. He dips into his bag and fishes out 20 gold.
And I need you to put in your ideal where you want to be addressed, and you can put your location as well, but that's more for flavor, like where you're from.
Well, we're sort of from all over the place, really. But
You could
The
put
name to
down.
put down
You could
is,
put down all over the place.
I don't know. I suppose we could. Oh, here, there, and everywhere. Anyway, besides the point. Our team name is the Telaria. Tal. Sorry.
Just put it down. Just put it down on the paper, buddy.
Oh, sorry. Yes. And yeah. Do you have it? Yeah. Well, he would pull out a quill and write down.
He's giving you a
Name.
quill and everything.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know he gave me a quill. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Aki just writes down the Telaria.
All right. So he takes it from you and takes the gold from you. Right. So event starts in. So looks up at the sky. About 2 hours from now. So get here before then, because if you're not here, then we consider that a forfeit.
Of course, all right. We'll be here. Don't worry. Okay. What do you recommend we do in the meantime? I must be honest. This is my first Foundation day. What do you recommend? What sort of games or food or frivolities to keep ourselves busy with?
I mean, there's stalls where various people are selling foodstuffs and drinks. Wouldn't recommend getting drunk before a fight. Various games of strength and dexterity. I'm personally a fan of of one called the Big Swing. It's a test of strength, but you tend to be able to win a decent chunk there if you pull it off. But there's other stuff. There's like archery. There's rock throws. There's secretly it sort of gives us a bit of a benefit, but it's essentially chopping wood, but it's sort of done in a contest kind of deal.
Okay, so hold on, there's one called the Big Swing. What else is there? Sorry, I'm just getting notes.
Archery, rock throw, and one that is essentially wood chopping. But they've turned it into a contest of sorts.
Okay. Well, I suppose all those sound like jolly good fun. Like, I get the sense that this whole day is basically about proving the strength, toughness, endurance, and fighting prowess of the citizenry. Then.
Oh yeah, because the first day of Foundation Day is all about how it was before, which the tribes were all about fighting back then. And then the second day is about how the Republic grew, and then the third day, that's for that's for like business people and delegates. That's where they talk about their future, so it's like, diplomatic stuff, trade deals, all that stuff, not something the citizenry is involved in. Technically, at that point, Foundation Day for the citizenry is only 2 days. For everyone else, it's free.
Oh, okay, interesting. I guess. Arithmetic. Alright then. I'll have to wait and see what the other 2 days have in store then. So is there anywhere we need to meet beforehand? Or do we just come back to where we are now?
So, like, points over to a tent that's got sort of like red cloth covering it. That's the rest area for the arena. That's probably where you're best to be.
Okay, well, I guess me and my associates will see you in a few hours then.
All right. Okay, so you got 2 hours. You didn't miss anything major kindling now. So you got 2 hours to do stuff. To have fun and be merry. So what is it that you all wish to do?
We could do some of those games. We could do the
There we go.
Didn't we all do archery back in Toe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just because
See
one
if any
city,
of us have gotten any better.
yeah, just because one city does it doesn't mean no one else can. So yeah.
That's not what I was saying. I was just saying like we've got experience in shooting at us.
I want to take on the Big Swing.
Yeah, I do as well, actually.
Okay. So, there's obviously a bunch of small games, but I've only written up for like the major ones that are not like, ones that are not. Basically, I put the more complicated ones down, but there's obviously a bunch of other small carnival games that you would see, like throwing the hoops and such, and all that stuff. So you can assume on those. I've just got notable ones that you might be interested in. Okay. So what games is it that you guys are going to go with first? I think it'd be
Let's
quicker
start with
that
the
way.
Big Swing.
With a Big Swing. Okay. So you do have to head back into like the where the Kilroy is, where the main the main square is. But you find, there's obviously not just a singular the Big Swing. There's multiple ones, because that'd be stupid having one game for an entire carnival. Looking at you, what was it called? DashCon. That was it, yeah. So you sort of arrive to where it all is. So there's two Goliaths that are sort of like conversing with each other. One's got a large hammer, and next to him you can see a large stone cube, like 2 feet by 2 feet, that sits on a thick metal bar with a wheel in the center and sort of like almost like a paddle on the other side. And they're just sort of like conversing with each other as you approach, and as you do, like turn and says, "Well, hello."
Yes, hello there. I was told this was some sort of Zemahan game, the Big Swing.
Yeah, this is the big swing right here. So, take it you don't know what the rules are then?
No, I'm afraid not, no.
Alright, pretty simple. So it's 3 silver for each swing. And what you gotta do is you gotta take this hammer, and you see that paddle part over there, you gotta hit there as hard as you can, and you gotta get this stone, so like taps the stone, to get to where the paddle is. So you gotta make it go like halfway around the circle. If you win, you get what's currently in the pot.
Okay, so hold on, just so I understand the game. So basically, you got big rock thing,
Yes.
metal paddle.
Yep.
Stuck into it.
No, so you've got the stone block on one side. It's like a long metal beam. On one side, you've got the stone block. On the other side, you've got the paddle. And in the middle, it's connected to a wheel that allows the entire thing to rotate. You have to hit the paddle with the hammer and try and get the stone to rotate all the way to where you are.
Okay, must hit the metal paddle. Alright, and is it just one big solid mighty swing, or do we get multiple?
3 silver per swing.
Alright. I guess, sure, I'll have a go at it, why not? When in Embar, I suppose. Here you go, my good man. Here's 3 silver.
Takes the silver, hands
3 silver pieces.
hands you the hammer. It's pretty unruly, but it's not going to be impossible. You get the feeling that it's not really meant to be used as a weapon. It's meant to literally just like, maybe like something like a blacksmith would use it on a particularly like, hardy bit of metal.
Okay.
So you sort of head over to the paddle, sort of like adjust your grip, get yourself ready.
Oh, actually, it's so stupid. No, I'm not going to waste spell slots now when we have a fucking 3-round fight to win.
Okay, you
I was going to say, can I use a Enhanced ability on myself to like give me bonus on my strength rolls? But that sounds like an immense waste.
Well, okay, that's so you take
I'm not going to. I had to physically stop myself from doing that. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to give Aki sort of gets the hammer, takes his bag off from around his back, rolls up his sleeves, and then sort of takes sort of like what he imagines is like the proper stance behind the paddle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like wide base, big swing up.
Yep.
And with all his nerdy half orc strength, he's going to whack the paddle as hard as he can.
Okay, make a strength check.
Yeah. Rolling.
You saw like you hit it, and you do watch like the metal sort of like screeches from the impact of it as it sort of like rotates. It gets about a third of the way over before it stops. The momentum just gone. It's like, sorry about that, pal.
I probably should have asked before. How much is in the pot?
Oh, looks over it, like what's been written down. Like 23 gold.
Well, anyone else fancy a go?
I'll take a shot at it.
Alright. You pay the 3 silver fee, and Aki hands you the hammer. You sort of like get yourself in position as well, sort of like look at the best place to hit, and you swing and make a strength check.
All right.
You impact, it rotates, it gets just under like halfway. Not good enough,
That's
unfortunately.
16.
Yeah.
I get the sense this game might be rigged.
No, really?
No.
A carnival game? Rigged?
Well, it's closer than most people get it.
Hmm. Well, it was a good shot at least.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone?
Anyone else want to take the shot?
Mevla, fancy a go?
Sure, I'll try it. That's 2 silver?
3 silver.
3, okay. Do-do-do.
Right. You're sort of like, it's clear that this is like a hammer meant for Goliaths, so it's a little bit difficult with your smaller form, but you're able to get like a good grip on it.
Huh, okay.
You sort of like wind back, just breathe out, and then swing. Make a strength check.
Oh, no.
Gets about a quarter of the way. Ah.
Wow. This thing is really tough. Let me try one more time.
It's another 3 silver for another swing.
Here we go.
Takes the silver.
Just so my silver can be even.
Alright. One thing I'll point out as well is that you're like, your arms have taken the impact of it, so the DC does go higher if you don't take a rest between swings.
Okay.
So keep in mind that the DC has gone up.
Okay. Oh.
Less so. You sort of like feel your arms sort of like you're a strong person, but just the weight distribution means that you put in with the hammer compared to like your size and such means that you sort of have to put more effort in, and it's just you're not able to get a good sort of like grip on it.
Mev sets down the hammer and just shakes her head. I think it's too big for me.
That was a good attempt. Most people give up after just one swing.
Mev like shakes her hands. Maybe I'll come try again later.
Sure, pot will probably be up a bit more by then. What about you two?
Sure, this is...
So like indicates to have luck and kindling.
Have luck.
None for me.
Nothing. Alright.
Come on, big strong cat man.
You're good. Alright. Hands
You
you
can do
the
it,
hammer.
Quinling.
Hands you the hammer, takes 3 silver off you.
Go, 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 go.
You have no silver? Do you have 30 copper? Oh. Oh. They just take some of the silver that the 3 of you had given and just hands the change back. So you get 7 silver back.
Yeah, 7 silver.
Yeah. Obviously, they don't give all the silver that you guys just paid them back, just enough to make up for it.
It's a gold.
Yeah.
I imagine that goes in the pot.
Yeah, it goes in the pot. I mean, it's still essentially the equivalent of 3 silver given the change, but either way. Strength check, yeah.
If it was a save. Woo!
You
Kindling!
swing it, and it stops just short.
Ah!
It's like to the point where, like, if you were to stick the hammer forward, you could actually tap the stone.
Oh man.
Jeez, I think that's the closest we've gotten.
Be back! That sounds so threatening.
Right, okay. He sort of like leans over to the other guy, and Aki, because you can read lips, says, "Bet you that one's gonna do it. I bet you 2 gold he ain't. You fucking see that? Get a little bit harder, he would have gone it. Yeah, but fine, you're on. 2 gold if you get 2 gold if you get to, alright? Yeah, not from the pot though. No, not from the pot. Come from your fucking wages. Fine."
Mev like looks at Kindling. That was so good. You were so close.
He was actually really close to the DC, actually.
Yeah, but we'll totally be back after and we'll crush it. Yeah.
Well, it depends if we're not the ones who get crushed by then.
Oh, please, Aki, we'll be fine.
How can you be so sad?
Okay.
Because we've got a very good healer, and Kinley and I are very, very strong.
Wait, who?
You know? It's all about confidence in yourself. If you have confidence in yourself, everyone else will.
No. Like, you said we have a good healer, who?
You.
Oh, right, okay.
You heal us, right?
It's something I do, yes, but I wouldn't say it's...
And you've
Something
helped
I'm
us
good
on
at, but
multiple
okay.
occasions.
Sorry?
And you've helped us on multiple occasions, right?
I suppose, I mean, I did...
Hmm?
The reason why I didn't just say, you 4 do it, I'll sit in the sidelines was... Well, what would happen if something terrible happened, and one of you got in a position where you sustained a mortal blow, your life would ebb away from you. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I just sat on my bony ass and did nothing about it.
That makes you a good healer. So, what are we doing next?
He did say that was archery. I suppose that's a good...
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. So for your own information, outside of the smaller carnival games, which don't really have much roleplay opportunities, so I didn't include them, but imagination for carnivals. The other three is archery, rock throwing, and wood chopping.
Chopping, for fuck's sake.
What's the rock throwing looking like?
Is the rock throwing one basically just shot put?
In a manner of speaking.
I want to do that.
I'll take a go at it.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I want to go chop wood.
Go chop wood. Take your buddy.
Buddy,
Yes.
do you want to go chop wood with me?
It would be my honor.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys got plenty of time still. Like that, the big swing stuff there only took like 10 minutes.
Honestly,
So yeah, I imagine we'll be hanging out for a while.
Yeah.
honestly, have a look. It would be quite entertaining to see how much wood you could get through.
Yeah? You think, big guy?
Well, yeah, you're the except out of Meverley, you're possibly the slightest of frame out of all of us.
Thank you?
Question mark?
If you wish for it to be a compliment, then it will be so.
Alright, so the party's split into do 2 separate things.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so just because it's the first in the list that I've got here, we'll go with the rock throw group first. So, you arrive at it. It's a small, smallish area. So, like, a marked out circle is there with another set of circles in the middle. Not in the middle. No, in the middle. You can see one of the guards is sort of like conversing, and as you approach, it's like, This one appears to be just a female human. No extravagant race or anything. It's like, oh, hello there. Are you here to partake in the rock throwing contest? All
Indeed.
right. I assume that it's not just one of you. You need at least another person. It's 2 people minimum. 2 people minimum, 4 people maximum.
Okay. Then me and Maureen will go together.
All right. So all you gotta do, so like reaches into a essentially a metal tub and pulls out shock puts. So all you gotta do is you stand facing outwards to the outer circle. On the count of 3, you throw it. If you're the furthest who throws it gets our entry fee back, which, by the way, 3 copper entry fee.
Is that each or
Each.
each?
So essentially, one of you is going to be losing your copper.
Seems fair.
And of course, if it's a draw, you throw again.
Alright. Then I'll go ahead and do... I'll put the copper down for me.
I'll put down my copper.
Alright, so... as I say, you simply throw. If you win, you get your copper back. You lose your copper. You get 1 copper back for each round you win. It's 3 rounds.
Okay.
So, hand you 3 shock puts. And you head into the circles in the middle. You sort of place yourselves in the circle, back to back. And it's a strength check between you both.
Why do I do so poorly when it's like the contest? Because Mev did poorly in the other strength contest too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Back in tow. It knows.
It knows. It's like, you know what? This shall be a combat character only.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so the first one, like, you sort of, like, throw, you've never really done shock put before, so it's difficult to get it, because as a person that has done shock put, it's really fucking annoying, the stance. I was worried I was going to hit my face with the shock put.
Yeah, I've done shock put as well. It's awkward.
Yeah. So you only throw yours, about 5 feet, whereas as Marine, you get yours 18 feet. So you win the first round, so you get 1 copper back.
Okay, let me try again.
Right?
Mev like adjusts her stance to see if this will be any better.
Yep. Round 2, another strength check.
Eatus deletus.
Holy fuck.
Better. It's better.
It's better, but still. Again, you throw it. The stance definitely improved it. You definitely got further there. It's just trying to find the right amount of balance on your feet. Yeah, unfortunately, Marine takes round 2 and gets his second copper back.
I think she pulled something with that big hammer.
I know the feeling. Right,
Okay.
You get the third shock pot. You ready yourself? And you throw
By
it.
rotating from your hips this time, that might help.
God, that's a part that always got me.
Mev does not look like she appreciates the criticism from you.
That's the part that always got me.
He's
That's the
trying to give
hip movement.
advice.
She's growing, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's a consistent growth. Unfortunately, Marine's just like too consistent.
You've got the award for best improved, yeah.
Yeah. Given Marine never topped the first throw. Got close, but never topped the first throw. Yeah, well, unfortunately, Marine gets all 3 copper back.
Mev looks so frustrated. You could actually see her turning a little red.
Oh, a little. Oh.
Good job, Maureen. You can see she's like chewing on her cheek as she congratulates you.
I can
You did-
taste the bitterness.
Yeah.
You were improving quite quickly as we went on. I feel like if we went again, you probably could beat me.
I don't know. I guess I'm just not very good at this yet. You can hear the bitterness.
Yeah, I really can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. You can't be the best at everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine. Fine. I just spent my entire life working out and lost to a robot. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. That's genuinely kind of what she's thinking right now.
I mean, to be fair, a gigantic warforged who like builds ships for a living.
Yeah, it feels kind of
Yeah.
unfair.
The shipwright and undersea, like...
And you're like a 5 foot. You're more like a dex fighter, aren't you?
No.
No.
No. She's got the build of a
Has
dex
-2
fighter.
in
She's
dex.
got the physical build of a dex fighter, but she sure as fuck don't have the stats for one.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, no.
I seen from the build of it that you would have been.
Me patiently seeing what Kindling says. Mev looks at Kindling. Yeah, we'll do that.
Marine will just wait by the
Just
shot put stall and see if anyone else wishes to join him.
just quietly waiting until Mev makes this like an eating competition.
Okay. So with
yeah.
So I guess the pair that are going to get the wood chop.
How much wood can the wood chop?
Yeah. So you can
Wood
sort of
chips are
see
good.
it's some stone platforms are placed, and you can see it's like just a pile of logs of various thickness, with a couple of like literal battle axes, sort of like resting on weapon racks. With one of the guards sort of like overseeing and checking them. And you realize like, all right.
Yes, hello, this is... Well, it's probably... I'm gonna make myself look like quite the fool now, but... This is where you do the... wood chopping contest, yes?
Yeah, close enough, yeah. Yeah, so, you interested in taking part?
Just
Well,
two
like,
dudes here to chop some wood.
Indeed,
Right.
see who's the more proficient in dudage, I suppose, yes.
Gotcha, and you also do the city a favor by, helping us with the firewood, so win-win for everyone, right?
That's nice.
So, it's silver to get in. Rules are simple. You have 3 swings total. If you break one of the logs, you get a copper. Break 2 of them, you go ahead and you get your silver back. Break all 3 of them, we give you a gold coin.
Wow, that's actually surprisingly fair.
Seems simple enough, yes.
It seems simple enough, trust me. The logs get bigger each one you break.
I
Delightful,
flipped them
would-
a silver.
You wouldn't exactly have a game left if everyone won the top prize.
Absolutely. So, like, he sort of like grabs a silver in midair, pockets it, and sort of like takes one of the battle axes and just hands it to you.
I will instead of throwing it at him, I guess I will just I'll just like say,
Here you go, my good man. Here's a silver. Now I'm guessing just take any axe we fancy the look of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. All right.
Just thinking about it, though, as a druid, wouldn't you have, like, problems with that? It is a literal battle axe weapon.
With what?
Well, don't you have, like, a thing where it's like if you wear metal, stuff happens?
Tom, that is the dumbest fucking rule on the planet.
I'm
Like,
kidding.
Do not
To
do
be
that.
fair,
I'm
it does
not.
It does say druids will not wear armor or use shields that are made of metal.
That
Doesn't say
in-
weapons.
It is the worst fucking rule ever, and it makes no sense.
I mean, in this scenario anyway, it's not, like, for battle, so it's like, it gets a pass.
It's a woodsman's axe, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I say.
It's like
But
I find
but
it hard that
what I will ask though for both of you is, are you proficient in martial weapons?
Yes.
You are? Okay. No. Okay. That just means that you don't use a proficiency bonus when you swing it. That's all.
okay. Okay, so Havelock gets proficiency, I don't. Okay.
Because he's proficient in martial weapons.
Yes.
Yeah,
And-
I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So basically, yours is a D20 plus your strength, whereas he adds what calls his proficiency to it.
So D20 plus strength, which is 2.
Yeah. So,
And mine is D20 plus strength with proficiency.
yeah, because you're proficient in martial
Oh,
weapons.
I can just roll my strength, can't I?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, actually, yeah. An 8. So you swing down at the first axe. It embeds itself about halfway in. It hasn't gone all the way through.
Fucking wood.
Is this too?
That's to Havelock. Oh no, yours is also the same. Like yours goes partially in, but it like no, you have to fail. You've missed the AC. Oh, that's one swing gone, but hey, you could still get your silver back.
All right.
Come on, Aki, we can do this.
Yeah.
Okay. I just need to double check on how much, because technically it's only 200. So roll a d8 plus your strength modifier there for both of you actually, because you both hit it. You pull back, raise up your arm, swing downwards, and it breaks in two. So, Aki, you have broken your first one. Havelock, you slam yours down, cuts partway through in, still not in pieces yet. You need to have another swing at it.
Another D8.
You need to do another swing. This will be your third swing. Aki, the one which you just broke is gone, and a bigger one is placed. Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll the damage, Havelock. Well, I'm pretty sure naturally, just because of your strength modifier alone, you would break that. So you, in your third and final swing, break yours, and you get a copper for it.
Okay.
Aki, make a strength
let
check.
me do mine.
Yep. That hits. Go ahead and roll damage. You slam into it. It cuts like 2/3 of the way down, but it's still in one piece. So you get a copper back as well.
Well, blast.
I mean, to be fair, it's pretty difficult sometimes, especially if you're not used to battle axes. Like, if you don't use them a whole lot.
I don't use them for combat, but I have cut one or two logs in my time.
Yeah, but it's like, you look at battle axe as a woodsman's axe, bit different there. Weight distribution's different. Yeah, that's how that's how we get you. Pick a weapon that's different from the actual tool.
Want to go again?
Yeah, so let's see if our wood handling skills can be improved with experience.
All right,
I throw the man 2 silver.
just grabs it. All right, places the small logs down for both of you. When you're ready.
Kia.
Yeah, both of them hit. Roll damage. You both like cleave into it. You mostly get all the way through, but it's still like the guard just looks like almost. Especially you. With points to Havelock. Another swing should do it. All right, that was your
Come
first
on.
one. Nah, you both just like glance it off the side. That's a miss. Go ahead and roll damage, Ed. Although, actually, wait, yeah, that's still just enough damage. And yep, Havelock as well. Go ahead and roll. Don't even need to roll damage. It's got 1 hit point left.
No kindling, we're not okay.
No.
You both destroy. You both get the first log. Unfortunately, that was your third swing, so you both get a copper back.
We're not. In terms of the wood chop, the wood chopping the wood's actually alive. We're fighting, we're fighting Leshens. So we get a copper back. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're so rich. Okay.
You know, while we're here and Havelock, like, leans on the axe, how much would it be to buy this? Right here, right now.
That's property of the Zamahan state. I'm not sure exactly how he's gonna sell it to anyone who walks by.
How much you gonna be offering for it?
Really?
Let's see. It's a battle axe. Like 10 gold?
Nah.
15?
You gotta raise your price a lot more than that, buddy.
25?
35.
If I can make it one more time and get past this first log and into the second one, 25.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
No.
You suck. And I'll just hand him 35 gold.
He just pockets it. Just like looks around.
You're not going to get in trouble with your superiors.
We got the money to get a new one made, so nope.
All right then. Fair enough. Then I feel confident about that. I suppose that was a good bit of fun. Although there wasn't a conclusive winner, was there, between you and I?
We were playing to win?
Well, I thought that's inherent in the act itself. It's why you do this. Why do people do it against each other? You know, so to find out who does best.
I suppose. Although, honestly, if we're talking about how much experience we have, I would clearly be the winner. Thank you.
Or experience in chopping wood.
Experience with wood in general. But look at it, I got a battle axe! Havelock just, like, holds it up two-handed like Doodle Bob. Hoy style.
Love the noises he makes.
It's like, yes, very impressive. You do know how to use that, don't you?
Figure it out.
You'll figure it out now in a fight to the death against ravenous beasts.
Yeah, that's like every fight. Come on. Anyways, come on, Aki. Let's get some food. I'm hungry.
Yes, sure, but about this whole learning the art of battle axery on the job thing, as a friend, I would advise against it.
And as a friend, I don't have to listen. Oh, look, they got juice over there.
Alrighty. So, just because I'm also aware of the time and such, is there anything else anyone wants to do before heading towards the tent for the the battle tournament?
While we were getting food, I was going to offer Havelock an arm wrestle to settle the score.
Ooh, I'd be down for that.
Okay, we can do
yeah,
that
sure.
real quickly.
So, yeah, alright, so like basically on the table wherever the hell we're getting
Yeah.
fucking at this outlet of Joe and the Juice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we know the normal rules for this. So go ahead, make a strength
Yep.
check, the both of you.
Classic platinum hold rules. Yep.
I go in more detail, but again, conscious of time. Yep. So you push Havelock back on one bit. So go ahead and make another set of strength checks. Back to the middle. Another strength check. Back to Havelock losing. Back to the middle. This is rapid fire arm wrestling. Yeah, no, that's Havelock's nearly losing. Another strength check. Oh, now Aki is nearly losing.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry.
If
we've had a natural 20, a natural 1, and a natural 20.
Yes, if you roll a natural 1 and a natural 20 at the same time, it counts as the person rolling a natural 1 losing twice. 2 rounds twice. So
Essentially.
yeah, that's the rules that I've had it as since then.
Oh, that sucks. Okay.
It's just because of the rarity of it. So up and Havelock wins.
I told you!
Yes. Gloat while I sit here and quietly seethe.
Aw, did I hurt your wrist? Do you want Havelock to kiss you better?
I can probably see a cover physician see it. It's fine. It doesn't hurt really. Because I know. You're the because I don't know if you have this in you, but there are swords out there who would hold a victory like that over someone for months.
Dude, it was just an arm wrestle. And we're friends. Why'd I hold that against you?
Well, I don't know. Bring it up, using it as a point for mockery and belittling.
I mean, I could. You just got your ass handed to you by a skinny little weakling like me. But,
Well, yes, but don't forget at a certain point, though, you're almost beaten by an awkward, mouth-arsed, disgusting-looking half-orc posh boy.
Hey. Can I slap him real quick?
Yeah.
Make an attack roll.
Oh, Havelock.
You miss.
Damn.
Actually, for flavor, he hits.
Okay. You take 4 points of damage from the slap.
Now listen here. You are not ugly, okay? You're fucking handsome, you're beefy, you are a bit of an asshole, but we're all a little bit of an asshole. So don't you fucking say that again.
I don't know
Got
what
it?
you're talking about. I'm perfect.
I mean, frankly, on the asshole front, I am trying to get better, you know.
You know, you're doing good.
I really did think I had the whole world set in its perfect order, and I had everything I needed sorted out, and then I got this stupid fucking tattoo, and my grandfather shoved me through a stupid fucking tree, and now I'm here.
Wait, this all started because you got a tattoo?
Well, not a tattoo, and it wasn't voluntary, but it might as well have been. This fucking thing.
And he parts his shirt, and you see the weird magical glowing dragon marky brandy thing.
Well, I mean, it's not all bad.
No, I think it was quite. I've actually started to like the look of it. It's a conversation piece, at least.
I mean, if you want more tattoos, I could go with you.
No, I'm okay, thank you. They're not quite for me, I'm afraid.
Really? No little spider tattoo somewhere, since you like to turn into spiders?
Aren't we chasing
looks like
someone down with
spiders.
a spider tattoo, and it is a mark of them being in a criminal organization?
Yeah, but it's different. You can get a different spider.
Well, yes, but in places where I've been, tattoos are usually marks of some sort of allegiance to a group of some kind, usually illegal and clandestine. So I don't want any untoward rumors being done just for the sake of permanently etching on my skin.
As he's talking, I'm just going to reach over and take his juice and start drinking it. I see. And how does that make you feel?
And I just sort of look at him, trying to force back a smile, and just go,
Quite frankly, thirsty, and take my drink back.
There are pirates. Well, if you're that thirsty, I could pay for another round of juice.
Okay. All right then. Your choice. I'm easy.
Yeah?
Oh, honey, I know you are. Take care of Leomar while I'm gone. And I hand him the battle axe.
Yep, someone's.
Here's the battle axe's name for the note taking.
yeah. Hold on. I need to up my notes. Wait. Get a 3, get your coin. Hold on. At the end. Oh, what's your name? Have a look.
Yes.
From the guard. 30.
Now I have a light crossbow and a battle axe and a rapier and a regular axe and a dagger.
Were you going to keep all these?
Clearly up my own ass.
Oh yeah, true. It is quite cavernous.
Quite spacious for all the bullshit that keeps coming out of it.
Indeed. Oh yeah, have you named all of your weapons now?
No. Only Lucius and Leomar. Peach, are you broken again? I'm surprised you're not saying anything about my, stupid naming.
What? Can you hear me?
We can hear you now, yes.
Okay. I'm drawing a Mev.
I want to see.
Want to see a Mev?
I always want to see a Mev.
Hold on.
But also, all that fucking line work I did, I have to redo now.
Not very good. It's messy.
Baby. We get titty.
Baby.
Oh no. My goodness.
She's so precious. You've gotten really good recently, Peach. Like, I don't know who you fucking sold your soul to, but they did you good.
I've been looking at TikTok tutorials and then I practice them. That's it. That's the secret. That's
they
who I
work,
sold
yeah,
my
they're
soul
working.
to.
You're good.
Alright, how are the dogs?
They were just barking because someone was knocking at the door. As they
How
do.
dare they?
Yep.
Alright.
But I imagine you
So
guys did your
after-
roleplay stuff while I was gone.
Yeah. That's all been sorted.
Yep.
Yeah, basically we ended with Battle Axe now has a name.
Okay. So, I'll just finish off where I was going to get to because it was literally right after. So I assume that you finish everything that you wish to do and head towards the main event. Assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you arrive within the tent, you can see that the various other individuals have shown up. You can see several dark-skinned individuals, all in matching armor, wielding shields and spears, just sort of like quietly conversing. To the far side, you see a mixture of individuals. You see a dwarf, a halfling. You see a human that's got actually a prosthetic limb. You also see something you haven't seen before. Well, you know of them, but you've never seen a fairy before having an argument with one of the guards. Which, actually, Aki, you probably would, yeah, because you can lip read. So he's just saying, like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean I can't fly? It's kind of what I do. Yeah, I know it's what you do, but strict rules here. We got nothing here that can fly because it could be a risk, so it ain't fair for you to be flying. That seems like a whole bunch of bullshit. Look, hovering around, so long as you're, like, within range, that's fine. That's fine. But we can't just have you flying up because it's not going to look good for everyone else, you know? Fine. I get to... They have to jump to hit me, alright? How about that? Fine. Fine. That'll... Fine. They just, like, walk away. In which you see the fairy just say, fucking asshole. To the other side, you see, like, a whole bunch of, like, beast folk and goblin. With the biggest one being a Loxodon, just sort of, like, sitting there with, it almost looks like a bell of sorts. And the final one, you just see, again, it's a group of individuals. You see a Triton, you see two sort of like troll-looking like individuals, heavily armed and human, and you see a Dragonborn as well with sort of like armor with various metal plates and such. And it's sort of like, they all acknowledge you all as you walk in, but mostly converse among themselves. And at this point, you can sort of hear like a magically amplified voice from within the area itself, to which they say, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else, I hope you're all ready for this main event, the fighting tournament. These brave individuals have elected to be your entertainment for this evening. 3 rounds from each of them. A battle to the death against various things which we've brought in. So, who are our teams? Well, from the region of Arizar, members of the Bronze Firu. At which point, like, there's a roar from there. The people in the identical, like, armor and such just sort of, like, give an acknowledgement to each other. From the Kingdom of Jurhan, members of the Ghosts. Another roar as the one with the fairy and such just sort of like actually gives gives the halfling a bit of a death glare at that. The other one says, the announcement continues. From the Isle of Tenerife, we have the delegate for the island of Tenerife and her entourage. Huh. There's just there's a bit of silence before it's like, no, that's still good, ladies and gentlemen. You did cheering and applauding. From our very own continent, we have the bravest of mercenaries, possibly. And there's another applause. And where did you say? What did you put in the location again, Aki?
I think Aki, being his ponderous self, I don't think I actually specifically said at the time, but we were sort of spitballing it. I think he wrote down here, there, and everywhere.
And from here, there, and everywhere, we have the Telaria. And there's another, applause and roar.
Who?
And Venture's like, very well, we shall get this tournament off with a bang. The Bronze Firu, come on forward. And as they walk in, preparing for their fight, and you are now in this tournament proper, that's what we're going to call it for this session. Yeah, gotta have a fighting tournament in a medieval fantasy.
Yay.
So I think I will point out as well, because and I remember when you and Peach saw me doing those rolls, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
This is what I was doing.
We're gonna die.
I was simulating the fights for all the other teams.
Damn, can we still scroll up and see who wins?
Well, the thing is, I only rolled for the character's stats. I didn't roll the actual fight. Well,
I know.
Well, I rolled for the fight, but I didn't use the rolling. I didn't use Roll20 for that. I just simply used my own dice. But I know how far they get, and I'm not going to say how far they get because it's funnier that way. Yes, this is all pre-recorded, by the way.
Yeah. Again, everyone remember that. Fantasy beast fights aren't fake, they're predetermined.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
But yeah, that was a fun session. First half was a whole bunch of lore and information, and the second half was just some fun times prepping for the main event.
You know what? I know for a fucking fact I am going to regret letting Aki get slapped there.
Yes, you're just going to be there like, yeah, I just say, you take 14 points of damage. Oh, that would have been really good if I hadn't been slapped because I had 10 hit points left.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Sorry, Havelock's noodle arms are too beefy.
Or it's just like, yeah, you take 18 points. How many do you have? 14. Oh, for fuck's sake, yeah.
That would be equally part unfortunate and funny.
Absolutely, it would be. Because I just imagine, like, the wound that would knock him down was, like, the same place at, like, Havelock slapped him, so it was just, like, it opened the wound even further, and that, like, made him, like, lose consciousness.
Yeah, is Havelock just a thingy to Aki?
It's
He's a thingy to me, because I suddenly forgot what his name was, I'm sorry.
I can't believe you forgot my name.
His name's Havelock, I'm sorry.
But yeah, so there's 5 teams partaking in this. Members of the Bronze Firu, which you guys wouldn't know much about. The members of the Ghost, which even the players wouldn't fully know about at this point.
No.
Like, they knew of, like, obviously you guys know of the Ghost, but, like, in relation to, like, this, you don't know.
What was the ghost again?
They were the survivors of the Fall of the Grasp.
That's it.
And you got the actual delegates from the Isle of Tended Earth.
Badass.
So, like, the ambassador and her entourage. You got a bunch of mercenaries.
Nice. And then us.
And then you.
Good.
So...
Have any of you guys seen the Mighty Boosh?
Nope.
I've seen the Mighty Bee.
The Mighty Boosh.
Nope, the Mighty Bee.
The Mighty Bee was a cute cartoon. I
Oh,
love
okay,
that
this
weird
reference will
Girl
not let
Scout
go.
representation.
Oh, man, but I was honestly just expecting, like, everyone gets applauses except for the Telaria. It's like, who?
I mean, the delegates almost didn't because it's like, wait, huh? What?
Yeah, it's,
Are
yeah.
they?
Yeah, it's a bit like, yeah. It's like, yeah, it's about the UN Secretary General taking part in, like, a UFC fight.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Lots of fighting. I say it's 3 rounds.
It's probably gonna be a lot of me keeping you idiots alive.
Yeah. I mean, based on with the other simulated fights, it's gonna be pretty close, I'd have to say.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be in support, throwing out heals and enhance abilities like chocolate.
Yeah. It was kind of funny though. There was one point where there was practically constant natural 20s from the from all the teams. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun little fight to see.
My God.
But that was a good session.
Yeah.